everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the Dirty Pool Podcast. We might be having some network issues right now. I'm seeing some severe dropped frames. I think our local internet is acting up. So we may pull the plug on this for just a second and then go back. But let's find out. Chat, you tell me, are we stuttering? Are we dropping? Are things sounding silly? And if they're not, we'll continue. But I have a feeling they will. In the meantime, I'm going to do the introduction anyways. I'm super excited for this particular podcast interview. I have with me the absolutely famous Steve Bowden, the originator of modern pinball commentary. What's going on, man?
Oh, thank you for that. Okay. Somebody was like, no, I did it first. I was like, okay, but I am doing fantastic. It's great to finally be able to talk with you, be on the show. No, we've been, it's one of those where we've been ships crossing together in the night, passing and whatever, and trying to get a good time to do this. And so I'm glad that we finally get this together, and this is going to be a really good show, I think.
We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Chat, are we good?
Yeah, we good?
Panther One locking in, says Nuclear Black. What's going on, everybody? This is a live stream, so please love and hit those questions as we talk. We have a slew of topics today. We're going to talk about Papa, commentating, getting into rules designed, Deeproot, Raza, and then we'll talk about some American Pinball Phase 1 stuff. Yeah, so really, I guess everyone's saying it's pretty good. So if it is a little choppy, I apologize. Hopefully that'll even out. It's not on my end. It's not on Steve's end. This is Time Warner Cable doing their business. Okay, but so enough of that. Dude, thank you and welcome.
Thank you. I love to be here. This is great.
I firmly believe that you and Bowen are kind of the grandfathers of modern pinball commentary, and where Bowen is more on the tutorial side of the education, you were the commentary side. I have been watching you from, maybe Steve could be louder, got it, no problem. I've been watching Papa broadcasts for, I want to say at least a decade, of seeing you guys stream at Pinburg, at the original facility for Papa. You've been a part of that journey for so long. Did you sit down and you were like, I'm going to be a commentator, or was there more of an organic process for it?
This is what happened. I won Papa 1 year. They were getting commentators. They had this booth they were set up, and they were doing a real push for commentators. And I was invited to be on by John Replogle and Petey Hendricks, Papa staff, and shout outs to them, Pittsburgh people. And I had no idea whether I was good at it or not, but it was one of those things where, say yes to things and try it, right? I mean, we're talking pinball, so it's not just me up there. So I have a couple other people that I can bounce off of and do whatever. So just went up there and I just didn't have to make sure I didn't have to, show out or say everything or whatever, because I got people to bounce off of. And, pure rookie, I'm just talking about the game in front of me as if I would somebody else. And so I have no idea if I'm doing well or if I'm doing poorly or what, but things seem to work out well. And I just sort of kept going and kept being invited back and kept being asked organically to come on. So I appreciate everyone who invites me. I never impose, because I like just watching too, but the commentator's desk is the best seat in the house if you're not in the finals. So
that's true. Front row seat, baby.
And so so part of my goal is to project that seat to the viewer, to have them have a better seat to how they're watching the show, and to present, and also to help whoever I'm working with help them look good. Because if they're looking good, then I'm looking good. And if we're looking good, then the show's looking good. And it all works that way. And I'm learning all this organically. No one told me what the first chair, second chair, and third chair are. I created that in my mind. Right. Okay, if you're the first chair, you got to do the interstitials, sort of. You're doing the intros. Hello, and welcome to this, that, and the other, and we're here, and this is who we are, what we're doing, why we're here, and how we do it. And you do that every 15 minutes. And so
one thing that really blew me away about how you talk about pinball and talk about commentating is I feel like I'm sitting there with my best friend and he's telling me the rules. It didn't feel like I'm watching this like overproduced kind of like, I don't know, CNN, ESPN broadcast kind of thing. I just felt like I had somebody who knew what the fuck they were talking about and was giving it to me in a way like that I could just absorb.
But also who will tell you honestly when they don't know. And then when I get to switch a mode into learning mode and say, okay, we're going to learn together about what this is because we're in a part of the game that I even hadn't played yet, studied, or reached myself or whatever, just to know that, yes, I am a human with limits on my mental capacity. So let me show you how we get around this,
Sure.
right? But that's all part of my wanting to break things down. Let me show you how I sort of organically kind of learned that. Is, as Twitch broadcasts became more prevalent and I started watching more of them, I started watching other games like, oh, here's Counter-Strike and here's League of Legends and here's, okay, so I'm watching League of Legends and I have no idea what League of Legends. I've never played League of Legends before, but I can understand like the field of play, sort of, right? Just like if you're looking at a football field, there's a green area and people are trying to get to that end versus that end. And so that's my limit of knowledge. And then I was noticing how much the commentators weren't bringing new people in to the thing. Like I'm I'm that new person that has come in every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes you get a new person who's watching the show. So this time I was it. And so at no point was I introduced to who these people are, what this is, what the stakes are, anything, right? So I just made a mental note of that because at the end of a half hour, 45 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm interested in this thing because it's new, but if at any point I was not interested, I'd be gone. I don't have a foothold to grab onto. So that just cued in my head, okay, make sure that you keep in mind that there are new people watching. I know you have a lot of people watching who know what's going on, but it doesn't take long to do it in this show. There's professionals. There's professionals I tried to model myself after that I never will be able to. Anytime you have
It never felt like you were trying to emulate somebody. It felt like you were just being yourself.
And I'm not trying, and believe me, I'm trying to be. Man, it's hard to do that as much as I can. And believe me, it's just to be yourself and do that. People say that it's easy, just be yourself. No, it isn't.
Sure, no, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But but you also want to be professional. You want to represent it well, and you also want to make sure. I got past that point where I was thinking, okay, I kind of know what to do. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, be excited, be exciting, be interesting. Try not to curse, and because
I don't follow that rule here.
Great things happening, and so that's good. I passed that, because it seems like that rule is also passed for everybody as well.
Sure. So I have a bold claim here. I think that Papa, your commentary, and a lot of the early streaming of pinball is directly responsible for people getting better at pinball quickly. Because everyone I know looks back at these tutorials, they look back at these games to learn the rules, to see other people play, to learn new skills like shatzing and all that. I think unintentionally you may be responsible for the improvement of kind of players' skill set.
That is something that I thank you for saying that, because that just gives me motivation to keep going. That tells me I'm doing something right. As I said, I'm sitting down and it's just here. I'm just talking to you, right? It's just there's a game in front of me which I know mostly of, and if I happen to know the player and know their tendencies, I can use that. And if I happen to know the people who I'm working with, their attitudes, I can sort of use that. Maybe I can do a little bit of heel commentary, face commentary, like WWE, purposely do some antagonistic things. I know they're going to take the opposite, or if I know someone is not as talkative, I can ask a question that I 99.9% know they know the answer to, and then they can expound on that. So now they are now being talkative. Or if I'm on with someone
who I know is very talkative. Players when you started?
Did I say again?
Did you know any of the main players that were kind of big in the pinball scene when you started commentating? Because I remember you would be like, Z-Mac's going to be doing this or that. I realized Z-Mac's kind of way later in the day, but I guess he was a baby at that point, right? But you would throw in kind of intentional. You knew what the player was going to do because you knew their style, you knew whatever. So it made just so much more engaging, the commentary, instead of just they're shooting the left ramp, blah, blah, blah.
Right, but there's also a trick to that. Is like, when I came on, when I was first invited, we're talking about names like Balcedo, Massenkoff, Engelbrechts, and you're talking about Achar, things like those names, right? And trying to learn from their tendencies and also paying attention to how they play, offline when I'm not doing commentary, when I'm playing against them, when I have the privilege to be in a final or in a playoff with them and learn how they play. But the little trick to that is that sometimes what I'll do is I will say 3 things that could happen, and I know they're going to pick one of them.
I do that at the end of every
stream. right, and so they pick one. I look magical because I predicted it, but I didn't, because I dry read 3 things, right? I did a dry read like a mentalist or whatever.
Sure.
They picked one. They look good because they did it. I look good because they predicted it. The whole stream looks good. Everybody looks smart. The person at home looks smart because they said, "Oh, I knew what they wanted because he said."
And everyone's processing this and making it seamless. It doesn't look like you're processing all this to make it. It just becomes like this one little experience. Yeah. Really, your brain's like.
And I hope that's what's happening, is because, again, I'm just sitting down talking to my perspective is I'm just sitting out talking, and here's Harlem Globetrotters, and this is awesome, and I know what's going on, and let's see who can tap past and all that. So I'm glad
is an amazing game.
It's amazing, and so I'm bringing that forward, and so if I'm accomplishing that, great. I'm going to try to keep doing that. I'm going to try to not affect what I'm doing, because apparently I'm doing it right. So I don't want to change what I'm doing.
So to ping pong off that, this is live, so we got some questions coming in. So Shoutout has a great question. He's asking, do you feel you have to be a great pinball player yourself to be a good commentator, or is that just a little icing?
That's icing. I mean, it's good for predicting. It's good for predictive if you're trying to commentate ahead of the timeline when I take risks like that. He might do this, or she might do this, or they might do that, right? But you don't have to. I mean, there are times where I will be on a game I have no idea about, or I really poor at the rules on, or really poor at certain aspects of it, or I would go slightly behind the timeline and just sort of follow. I'm learning with them, but I'm disguising it. And then at a certain point, I'll jump ahead of the timeline and predict it and go back, So, but I'm not doing this. I'm not thinking about this as I'm sitting. I'm just talking. But if I were to analyze, if I go back and watch what I'm doing later, that's what I'm doing. But
do you do that? I think that's critical to improve being an online person. I shamelessly watch my own streams to try to figure out how to be better at presenting stuff.
Oh yeah. I got over listening to myself and how I sound quickly. It's like, I sound terrible. Is that how I sound? Yeah, that's how you sound, bro. And people say you sound good. I'm like, I do.
I think you sound great. If you're commentating and they move the rig over to a game that you don't know the rules on, right? How do you, if someone's watching this and they want to be a commentator and they're like, man, I'm afraid of not knowing enough about the games. What's the move there?
Well, there's still pinball is still pinball, whatever it is. So there's still shots to be made and lights to follow. There are still pinball. The pinball game that you have has lights that will flash. The flashier the light, the more important it is. Usually, okay. Usually the ruler is the more flashy it is.
Unless you're Dwight and you make everything flash.
I said usually, right? So if you can follow, and what will happen is, depending on the level of play, it depends on how quickly you'll be able to see what the 2 or 3 shots people are going for and why. And the game will probably tell you that within the first minute or 2. And then if you pay attention to it, and then you realize that you don't have to talk all the time.
Do you think?
Right?
Do you think great games? Do you think great games reveal what the rules are through just naturally playing it?
Teaching the player. I'm all about teaching the player. And so if there are many things. I mean, I'm sure we'll get to that part in the show. But I mean, there are things that
it's coming up.
It's coming up. But there are things that are not in Barry's game, because I'm sitting up 2:30 in the morning thinking, I'm not going to be able to teach the player this organically. It's not going to work. I can't do it. I have to bail out. I know it's not going to be as complicated, but I have to bail out. I don't think we can do this. And so there are things that aren't in it because of it. There are things that I've X'd out of my rules because of it. There are things
Accessibility
it's
is a finicky thing in pinball, right?
it's
Because you
tough.
want
Yeah,
new players not to be afraid to play, because you want new players
right,
to be in the
right,
hobby. But now you've got this lineage of people that have been playing the game for 20, 30, 50, 60 years, if they're really
right,
playing them old wood rails, you know?
right.
How do you make a game exciting for both players?
It is such a balancing act, and it's even more people on that balance beam. Is you have the two samples you mentioned, right? And then you have the fact that the market is flipped to where now it's dominated by the home market and not the route market. I mean, if we believe Stern, I mean, I don't know, does Stern say it was 70-30
You know,
home, I
I don't
think?
know
Is
if that
that
was
a
an
legal
official
number?
announcement, but it's gotten legs. Like I throw that number around too. It's just like it's 70% of the market, 70% of the market.
It's,
Like,
it
okay,
sounds right. It sounds good enough to at least have a discussion on it
for sure.
without doing a straight up study on it. You know, it sounds good enough to at least go forward with that number. I mean, yeah, I remember when it was 70-30 the other way, right? I mean, they were talking about late 90s, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's your late 90s area. And so you didn't have to worry about games having layers upon sub layers upon sub layers because you can buy the game and own the game and mess with the game when you want, and you always have a chance to play it, versus someone who doesn't own it, who doesn't have the chance to play it as often, and so they can't really get into the minutia, and they can't get into the risk reward, and they can't get into the efficiency, and they can't talk about EV like we're talking about poker or whatever. No, they
Right.
can't talk about efficiency and first shot, and they can't take the glass off and and literally hit stuff and see what they do.
Yeah.
No, they got $1. Okay, they got this $1 that they got from their parents, and they're gonna go play Pokemon with this dollar, and this is their shot, and this is your shot, manufacturer, to make that kid a pinball fan.
Feel like a
That's,
legend. You want them to feel like they're the
okay,
best player in the world, even if they get 10
right,
points.
right. But so there's that side of the market, and then there's the other side of the market where pinball games cost $7,000 on the low.
On the low, for sure.
So that it's not like a video game where a video game is $60 and you get to have it. $100. Say GTA 6 whenever it comes out, when it takes its good sweet time, and it's going to be $100, right? And it's $100, but then you have it, right? So you can play
Right.
whatever you want, and it's also $100, and also everybody has it. Or if you have a free-to-play game, it's free to play. Where is the barrier of entry of a free-to-play game? You have a computer, you have a cell phone, right?
Right.
Which can be a barrier to some people.
Sure, but it's not a $7,000 barrier for sure.
But it ain't that, right? That's not a $7,000. And you got people with collections, right? Who can do all these things, and they have collections, and they're friends with other people who have collections, and they get on news groups with people who have other collections, and they get on Discord with other people who have collections, and they get to talk about the minutia and everything and really nail everything down. And then you got people who are just trying to go to their local route with $10 and try to extend their game time just a little while longer.
Sure.
And
so you mentioned
layered.
You mentioned layered rules in terms of modern pinball. What do you think is the first like truly modern pinball machine where it's not like a linear rule set? You know, where the first game that kind of paved the way for.
It's going to be a Lyman game. I just have to, think which one I want to pick. Thank you, Lyman. It's going to be that level because I know the first time I thought about that, I think it was Monster Bash. About how.
Great George Gomez game.
I remember the first time I thought about that layering as a thing and I was talking about Monster Bash as that. And this is years ago. So now this is just coming in my brain. Like, when did I first remember that?
This is a bold claim. That's saying that Monster Bash is the first contemporary modern pin.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I remember talking about it and using that as an example.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that's not the answer to the question, but because I don't know.
I think it's a pretty good, if that's the game that popped in your head, that means it's one that left, it left a mark, that it had that kind of a structure. Is there another game that you think has that kind of a structure? Kind of a mark?
even like in the hit, like that left that kind of a mark back in the day. I have to think. I'd have to really think about what it was. But I mean, all the modern ones do. I mean,
absolutely. But now it's just that's the way it is, right? And it wasn't like that. I mean, we were talking about this the screenshot for the thumbnail, right? That has like Shadow and some other games in it, Congo. Those are fairly linear games. Like there's multi-balls in it, and there's like objectives and whatnot. But it doesn't have the like distinct contemporary layering that you see in like Elwin games or Gomez games that are coming out these days. I'm just curious if it was a natural evolution or if there was like a landmark that made it happen as a rules designer, right?
Yeah, I don't remember when that was. I just know it was a Lyman game. I just know it had to have been for me. Right. That's when I started paying attention. Because to me, Monster Bash is a Lyman game. I mean, I knew Lyman was on it before Gomez was on it. Monster Bash is a Lyman game to me.
So then maybe the real question is Lyman, the programmer that really created the modern pinball format is Lyman.
To me, I mean, I don't know if that's true. Like, we can go back and find the answers to the question. We just go to IPDB and look at dates. Right. I couldn't even find it. Like, we could find the empirical
They don't even update anymore. How crazy is that IPDB is just that was like the website I would go for finding manuals or schematics in order to like work on games or just see pictures of games that I was curious about, see what other people rated it. And it's just like, it's gone. Like there's probably so many modern pinball people that don't even know what that website is, which is just mind blowing. It hasn't been updated in like, chat's probably going to correct me here, but it hasn't been updated in years, I think.
But I mean, is it cost? I mean, there must be some reason other than, I mean, it could be straight up.
I think it's because Pinside has kind of replaced it because of the other features it provides,
Could be. I mean, but if there's a replacement, then maybe you don't need to. I mean, because again, Kineticus also has its database. So
true.
If it doesn't need to, then maybe it doesn't need to. I mean, maybe it'll do a refresh at some point in the future, but I mean, I don't want it to make it feel like they have this obligation to provide us this free service.
No, and pinball people love to do free work. People love the hobby so much that they'll just take so much of their free time to create stuff. Like, Ryan, I'll mention Pinball Map, right? So Ryan at Pinball Map and there's two other people there that also help that structure, as well as like hundreds of other like operators that help to like QC and make sure the games are like updated correctly on the list. He's not getting paid for this. It's a free service because he wants people to be able to find pinball machines. So,
Right. Yeah, and so that's why I appreciate all those people who give away these free services in their time. So that's why I don't want to, I don't want to speculate on what happened with IPDB. Because there'll be a video coming out. What happened with IPDB and all whatever.
But look at this
one. There probably already is one.
Refried Noodles said that Google doesn't even refer to IPDB.org anymore if you search for an Internet Pinball Database. That's crazy. Joe Carvino's here. PindyGen, shout out. He's saying, what's up?
What's up, Joe?
What's going on? He says he thinks Spider-Man from 2007 is the first modern rule set. Wow, what a funny thing that he has said. We were just talking about Spider-Man.
I mean, as I said, I wasn't coming as forward with Spider-Man because I had Spider-Man in my back pocket because I'm like, I know it's a Lyman game to me, like in my head, right? Because I'm like, Spider-Man, it first came out, people didn't like it or whatever. Then Lyman fixed it on its own time. That's the lore, that's the legend, and then he improved it in such a thing, and then it became my favorite pinball game of all time for a long time. It was Spider-Man 1, and it was Twilight Zone 2. It was 1 and 1A.
Can we show off your shirt?
We haven't seen. Yeah, okay, let's
I love that. Power. Not only is the Great Pyramid on there,
it's power.
So the reference to my favorite goddamn pinball machine. One of.
There you go. Because because the Great Pyramid needs his sacrifices and tributes. So come battle the power.
Only it takes its sacrifices to improve pinball, though, which is good.
Right. Yeah, and you contribute. It's your tribute to the Great Pyramid. It's part, so I've been in cahoots with the pyramid for a while. So like I said, it was, and this shirt has appeared in ESPN the magazine as a side.
Also, by the way, thank you. I also want to mention, so funwithbonus.com is your website where you used to have a lot of educational stuff, and now it seems like it's kind of more like blog format.
It's more blog format now, but the new pinball dictionary is still there. My backlog is embarrassing. Sorry, everybody, but they're Reddit is there.
No, but you posted about Transformers and you mentioned me and the Great Pyramid. I appreciate that.
I had to get everybody who was there at transporters. I was there at media day. I was like, here, look, here's me, and look, there's proof I was there at media day. So, I didn't have my Walter Cronkite take like I did on Pokemon ready yet. So I don't know if I'm going to write that, but or when.
That game's an interesting oddity in the Stern lineup for sure.
Mm-hmm. So like I didn't have that ready because I know with Pokemon I knew I had my plan ready. I had my perspective. I'm talking about route pinball versus home pinball. I'm talking about my character named Johnny 8-year-old, who he is, where he comes from, why he's important in the game, and I'm glad that there was sanity in the room when they created the rules as far as the play field and how it's simple and how little Johnny can go in and learn about the game quickly. So I kind of had that planned out a little bit. So that's where that came from. And I didn't have that for Transformers. So I'm like, I got to make sure that everybody gets represented who is here. So I started trying to find everybody who was there. I was like, okay, the content's out there. Let's get it all on one page. Yeah. So if everybody doesn't see it, they have to see mine. They can just see it. They'll see everything, and they can go look at it.
Just want to pull it up real quick, just so you guys can see what his website. What? Oh no! I don't know what that is. Anyways, Fun with Bonus. This is the website. I'd highly recommend checking it out. Your insight and your text is just as fascinating and natural as writing as your live commentary. So I just wanted to plug that because I feel like a lot of people don't and should know about Fun with Bonus, as it is part of you as well.
I had that moment. I did have that. Have those moments that getting old moment. I did have that recently.
I have that daily with my neck.
Yeah, I was like, I was making that post, right? I was making that post and posting whatever, and then thinking about the website, like, okay, making sure my certificates are secure, security, make sure the ACPS and all that, whatever database, okay. And I'm thinking like, I'm seeing stuff like, oh, make sure is your site secure? Is your site trustworthy? Is your certificate valid? One of the things that is a hallmark of a security of a site is how old it is. And I'm like, you have to see how, like, man, that sounds like a credit rating. And so I'm looking like, oh,
you got a credit rating website. Yeah, the Fun with Bonus has been around for decades, or a decade.
I wonder how old my site is. So, because I didn't remember exactly. So I went to find out, and I'm like, and so like I didn't use that link because that link looked like spam, So I know there's other links. So I looked at that, and I went there, and I put it on. And I was like, okay, I put it up and I put it there and said, okay, whatever. And the thing came back and it said, and I'm going to put it up now. It said, Friday, the 29th of September, 2006.
Dang, it's your 20-year anniversary.
19 years, 7 months. And I'm like, where was I? Friday, the 29th of September. And I'm like, I am teaching computer science, programming, and networking in a high school in Jersey City. That's where I am. It's September 29th. That is a couple of lifetimes ago.
That's pretty amazing. Well, you've done a whole lot, and let's move on to some of the more recent pinball related stuff that you've got going on, because you have been involved in some wild shit. I'm gonna throw out names like Deeproot, American Pinball, but before we get into that, because you were doing rules design there, so we got to talk about rules design. Shall we?
Okay, I mean, whatever you want to get into, let's go. Let's talk about what I think about it a lot of my day. Just part of my natural thinking about life is thinking about, rules design, teaching the player things, balance, risk, reward, writing stuff up if I'm bored about some other topic that I never show.
Well, and that's one of the things I love about the podcast is like, we've had other rules designer on like Ray Day and Carl D'Angelo. Bowen Cairns has been on here as well. And it's just hearing how each of you guys kind of approach, like there's some similarities, right? Like there's just some fundamental, what I would call like foundation rule set stuff that is in every pinball machine, but then everybody has their own kind of like flair. What would you consider as your like flair to rules design for your own projects?
Well, I hope my flair is ease of understanding. That's what I'm hoping for. I noticed I am slanted toward the route player, because I want you to go up with your dollar, and then I want to be able to earn that second dollar, because it's the second dollar that's the important dollar. If the first dollar goes in, we have no idea what's going on. The second dollar proves that you had enough enjoyment with that first dollar to continue your investment in this experience and game. Because a lot of times what happens is people will walk up and they will play pinball and not even flip because they don't know,
Right.
I mean, you might as well, it's like putting them in front of a nuclear reactor. It's not saying they're
people
stupid.
are so afraid of pinball machines, and it's just like
it's
mind blowing.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know things. So it's important to know. I started having on Pokemon. People go, "Oh, it's Pokemon." They step up, they plunge. They knew to plunge the ball, but they didn't know the flippers. And I was like, this is an interesting experiment that I'm not going to pretend I'm not stalking them on. I'm just looking.
Right.
I'm playing Foo Fighters. I'm not gonna. Okay, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to go over there and pinsplane anything yet. This is interesting. Let me look.
I'm sorry. Did you say pinsplane?
I just want to look at them, and because it's interesting data. It's like a new player playing your game. This is vital data.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Okay, I gotta see. Okay, how quickly do they learn that they're flippers here? Okay,
right, we got some chat popping off. Let me give you some rapid fire real quick. Shout out David Van Ness in the house. We got Barrels of Fun CEO hanging out. He says he loves hearing Steve's love for pinball.
Shout out to Barrels. I mean, I got my time on Dune. Thank goodness. The best playing Dune so far was at Delaware Pinball Open, Mid-Atlantic Pinball Open, A Division. I learned that game for $2 a game. And it was fantastic.
That's expensive.
During qualifying, I learned about that game. It's like so
thrown into the weeds. Well, so did Dune educate you? Like, did it give the rules through gameplay as you would hope?
Enough to get me to where I needed to go. Like I didn't go far enough. Like I didn't go far enough to where I would own the game and get into deep stuff.
Sure.
But let's. You know what? I'm going to go to Dune. This is a great topic. Thank you for the segue. That's fantastic.
Way to go, David. You just derailed my whole interview to talk about Dune.
I don't think it's derailing at all because
let's do it.
Because usually my time on Dune, my games on Dune were ball one. I start the first. I get the skill shot. Start Harvester. And then I don't know what I'm doing, and
the easiest mode start in the history of pinball.
Well, because it has this, it's a skill shot. Like I can do the skill shot. So it would be skill shot, hold the flipper up, drop it, cheat it, get the 10 million, harvester one. Okay, probably die because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, skill shot, ball two, whatever, maybe get the 10 million or the 5, depending on what game says. Harvester 2. Then ball 3, try to mess with the little radical, either ball 2 or 3. Somewhere in that point, I've messed with the little radical looking kicker on the right. Rattles is on the left, but it's on the right.
Federican lock, yeah.
Because I don't know any references. I don't remember Dune. All I remember about Dune is that, the spice raises consciousness, Patrick Stewart's in it, and Blue Eyes and the Sandworm. That's all I know. Remember.
Honestly, that's mostly enough of Dune knowledge.
Right. So that's all I'm going into. So I'm like, okay. And then most of the Dunes I didn't play, most of the Dunes I played, the flippers weren't strong enough to hit the shot in the back.
Right.
Past the Sandworm. There's the ramp back there. And so I couldn't do much of anything. And so part of my enjoyment was stunted by that fact. It was equipment, or it was down, or it was there, or it was being fixed, or something like that.
Yeah. Which is game needs fans for tournament play. Once those coils heat up, it's just like any game it gets destroyed by coil heat.
Speaking of being fans, hello Barry's game. Okay, So my enjoyment factor was limited by that, and so because of the fact Dune wasn't out in a lot of places, so. I'm not buying it. I'm a player. I'm not a collector. So
sure.
When I find it, I'll find it and it's down, or find it, it's gone. Or I'll find it and I'll get my game in, and that's all I get. Harvester 1, Harvester 2, failed multi-ball because I don't know whether it's lit or not because the lights are going the wrong way and I can't see if it's close or not. It's heading away from me instead of toward me, so I don't know.
Fair.
So I don't know how close I am on the multi-ball. And then Pain Box, done. Pain Box, dead. That was my game. And then Delaware, I'm like, okay, they're doing the tilts, okay, how should this tilt be, Steve? They call me over. How should this tilt me? Okay, I'll just tilt. So, I said, it should be like a slap shape should give you 2 strikes, and then you'll be in trouble after a slap shape. Should be, and that's like anything tighter than that's bad, anything looser than that's not good for circuit event. Okay. my first casual flip, the cleanest shot through the back, the sandworm up the ramp, like through the channel. Wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, oh, that's how it's supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you do this? And he says, oh, I did this. I made sure I did this, and I made sure I did this way, and that's why it plays like that. It's like, oh, can you tell them every arcade ever to do whatever you did, because this was the greatest shot I ever mistakenly made casually ever. And I'm like,
quote him,
wow.
David, the greatest shot I've ever accidentally made. That's it. That should be the tagline, Dune Pinball.
And I'm like, oh, now I can maybe learn about this game. Okay, I can shoot the left ramp. I can shoot this thing. I can get a combo. I can figure out, what water means. I don't know.
This is a huge pet peeve of mine, by the way, when arcades have games that are beat up, where you can't play.
And I can, right. But then, so then I got past that part. So now I'm on to, so now I'm ready because I'm charged. Now I get to learn about Dune, and and I look up at the screen and I see water indicator and I see spice indicator, but not the words, the things. So I don't know what they are. And I look on the screen, I don't know what that is. And so I'm like, well, I'm gonna learn some things. I did something which got my water to 100, I think. And that was apparently great that Bowen told me later. And I was like, dang, I wish I
your timer and your survival jackpot.
I didn't understand that at all. I just wanted to get to a multi-ball so I could play, because I'm at that, mode plus multi-ball equals good. That I want. So at that point, my learning was stunted in that way. Because again, I'm at a tournament, so I can't study it or whatever. And I learn by doing. So if I am doing a video, like if I'm doing a video on something, it doesn't help me as much as it might help other people, because I have to go do it. I'm going to forget stuff, but I know that when I'm doing a video. So I know that there's that other side where there's the visual learner, there's the kinesthetic learner, and I know that from teaching, and there's, the audio learner. So I'm like, okay, I know that from teaching. So I know I can teach in that way. It may not help someone like me, but it might help someone who isn't me, who learns in that way.
But I think that pinball is amazing in that way, because it dials into all three of those learning kind of foundations, right? If you're someone who learns by watching, you can watch the display and have that tell you what to do, or you look at the lights on the screen. If you learn by audio, you can listen to the call outs and have them tell you, shoot the left ramp, shoot the right ramp. Or if you learn by playing physically, you shoot the shot, see the result of what happens. I mean, pinball is like the holy trinity, shout out to the Great Pyramid, of, of that kind of foundation. Dig it.
And it's a delicate balance as well, because you can't have the screen do the heavy lifting, because you can't look at the screen so much, because you're trying to play pinball, trying to not die. There's a whole not dying part.
Screens are really for other people to watch. You watch the screen as a bystander instead of the person actively playing for the most part.
But then there are ways you can use the screen well. For example, the way on, just thinking right now, the way on new Star Wars, you always know what the value of the current shot was. It's in the same spot on the screen. So when I'm glancing at it, I know where to look. I know where it is. I know I hit this shot. I know what number. Okay, that number up there I got for hitting this. I get to glance for a quarter of a second. Boom. Okay, I saw the number. I know that was for that shot. It might have been a line under it that gave me further detail. I might have caught it. I might not have. But I know whatever's there, it's going to be there next time, or something the other things like that are going to be there. So it's major award, thing happened because of it. Oh, okay. So when I glance up there, I know I'm looking for a major award thing. Now, the thing that confuses me in Star Wars is sometimes I don't know where the big numbers come from. So, it'll be 250,000.
The Electric Bat did a Pin Pals with Ray Day literally yesterday, where he goes down everything. Highly recommend checking it out if you can. Serge does a lot of charts.
That's my next assignment. I'm going to view that. I'm going to study it, and I'm going to forget most of it the next time I go play Star Wars, because I don't learn that way. But
they've the new rules that he has added, I think, is to help clarify a lot of what you're talking about.
It's great. So I'm like, yes, I know when I look there, it's going to be there. But the part that I get confused on is okay, this shot's 250, 500, 750. Okay, I see my friendly numbers, and all of a sudden, 88 million. Whoa, snap!
Boom.
What?
What?
Where'd that come from? And then next time I was like, okay, it's 1,250,000, 1,500,000, 132 million. Fool, what up? Oh, what? I was like, oh, how did I get that? And so let me go back and figure out how to get that. It was because I had the double on the name flashing plus this, and that also fed into it, and that gave me the larger one. So that is those part that, but again, by that point, I'm into the minutia now. I'm into the part where a person who has their dollar is going to learn.
Sure.
They're just trying to shoot the Death Star, you know. So, they're just trying to shoot the Death Star, get big numbers. But now I'm into the minutia. I'm into like, you know, how do I maximize this stuff? And this is the stuff that people who own games can get into.
Because when you own a game, you can really consume it for weeks at a time. And you know, right. A lot of people, let's talk about Stern Media Day, right? I hate having to talk about a game after Stern Media Day because you just don't really have enough time for it. Like it's, you know, their games are available, but there's tons of people there waiting to play. You just can't put the mileage on a game to really like consume it. And then you're asked like, is it good? Is it bad? And it's like, I can tell you how the shots flow, how they feel, but from a rule set, like it's just too difficult to dive into. I thought Transformers was pretty good, to be honest.
It did well. I think like one way I try to get around that is just an experiment I've been doing since Guardians of the Galaxy. Is I've been trying to have my first game happen with as little input, marketing, anything, exposure as possible, so that I can do my best to become as close to a new player as I can.
Right.
For that first
that $1 person.
Right. I'm trying to pretend like, what does the new player experience? I know I'm not the new player. I mean, there's certain things I have to fake if I was doing the new player stuff. Like if I'm testing my own game or I'm testing games I work with, there are things that I purposely nerf myself on. Like I'll purposely go after the bash target too much because that's what a new player would do. You know, I'll purposely go for the flashing thing because that's what a new player would do, and just to see what that is. So I'm still keeping a bit of my inherent skill, but I'm still trying to simulate, okay, what does the game look like? What is the game teaching me?
Steve has to simulate being a bad player because he's so good. Some of us don't have that luxury.
It's not even that I'm so good. Is that if I want that type of data so that I'm interested to know what is the philosophy of this person's rules on teaching the player their game. You know, so that's why I'm like, I don't want to do any. Okay, tell me anything.
How do you feel that Gieske did on it?
I think he did. I think she did very, very well. Very well. I'm gonna say, I left it like my initial grade was like, I think it was like B+. Okay, yeah, did very well.
That's great. I would take a B+ on pretty much.
I'm like B+. I'm like B+. And just for some room so I can give some room for an A later, maybe. You know,
that's launch code B+, by the way.
Yeah. It may be like, it may be like one of those. I mean, I don't want to be like an IGN 7 out of 10. You know.
Oh, don't even. You know? Oh my God. Yeah, let's not.
That's not that. I'm trying to stay away from that because here's reasons. I'm like, I go up and I'm like, and they're all excited. I'm like, no, don't tell me anything. Don't tell me this is important.
She was like running up to people on the games to tell them how to play.
And they're excited. Like, no, you don't have to sell the game. You don't have to sell the game. You don't have to sell it. You did well. Because I know that sell mentality. I was like, you don't have to sell it to me. Like
this is also her first lead, though. You gotta she's gonna be so excited for that.
I know. Like I understand. I fully understand. But don't tell me. Don't tell me. Yeah. So like I want to see. It's like, okay, I see green is locked. Okay, sanity is in the room. Good. Green is a ball color. Green, you hold balls, you lock balls, you multi-ball, you add a ball. Green is a lock color.
When did green become the like permanent ball lock color?
It isn't. But if you're going to tell me something else, if you're going to teach me another language, teach it to me.
You sure about that? Like, think of what other game doesn't use green for like their primary multi-ball lock. It feels like it's every game.
Right, but some games don't. Some games stay away from
but like at some point it got like a kind of like an implied rule. So like that's what I'm saying. Like the ecosystem of pinball has these kind of implied rules that you pull from other games to learn a new game.
Right, you think so, but sometimes it isn't. Like it took me a while to figure out how to lock a ball on Jaws till I figured out, no, we're telling a story on Jaws. Those greens up there are not locking. That green is the bounty increase or something.
Yep. Ball locks are yellow.
Meanwhile, I was up there like the first few times. I'm looking at this green thing, and I'm like, okay, how do you lock the ball? Like, no, you don't lock a ball. We're not locking anything. The ball's not going to lock and go anywhere. Forget about the shark not eating the ball. I didn't care about that. I was like,
I don't care about that either.
Is the ball locking anywhere? I was like, no, it's not going to lock. So it took me a while to transition my brain. Like, no, you're making progress to do the chum thing which then leads to the red shots, which are not jackpots because jackpots are red. No, they're not. Not here. Now the chum shots are because chum looks red. I hope that was in my head canon. Okay, sure. So chum is reddish and bloody and whatever, and shark and blood and so it's filling the chum meter ready, and it's making it red, red, red. Okay, there's the red I can connect, and then I do that, and then I do a yellow barrel, which then I get one yellow barrel, and then that's the multi-ball. So I was like, oh, what? I started multi-ball already. I didn't lock a ball. So no, you did the thing that started the multi-ball. We're doing it differently here.
Totally different.
Oh, now I understand 2 months later.
And as you said, the storytelling element of making it yellow, like similar to the yellow, whatever, floaties that they attach to it is like perfect. Right. Also, on a side note with that shark, if they had made it a ball lock and ate the ball, it would have totally slowed the game down. Like you couldn't use the mechanic of like increasing the value of the modes by mashing it. Like it's just like, it's so needed to be the bash toy that it is.
It's so fine. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Like I know the shark's supposed to eat the ball because the sharks eat things. Okay. But I did not care. I did not care. It was funny. It's the newest meme. That's why I was like, hey, does Megatron eat the ball? Let's see.
No, but you bash him in his dong almost, which I love.
like Soundwave eats the ball if you got the money to. Soundwave eats the ball. If you don't, you don't eat it.
And he does a tummy dump. Tummy dump is maybe the piss lake is probably my favorite thing, which I wouldn't stop talking about in my video. The piss lake is probably my favorite stern mode that has ever existed in a game. Yes, there's a magic golden lagoon where a bunch of transformers go up and get all dippy and get all wet with the urine. Highly recommend checking it out. Fantastic. 10 out of 10 piss lake. Anyways,
let's go.
Well, let's bring it back to you.
But let's see. That's when I was learning what Jaws was. I was surprised when I was starting to multiply, and I didn't know why until I had to switch my entire brain over. It says no.
Right
here, don't follow the normal language you're used to from back in the day. This is completely different.
But that's why I love Elwyn's philosophy, because it's just so different than traditional pinball. In my
try to adjust, try to find some things that you understand, and just try to adjust and see how this game is telling you how to play. And then that's why I was definitely a little bit hampered by that, because I was looking for context clues and I wasn't seeing many of them. And things were happening.
Do you think modern games are too deep and too kind of like overcomplicated for casual players?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really have to think about that. But yeah, there's certain things that I don't get, and I'm like, I don't know how. I mean, but then you have that balance. Like, okay, well, for the casual player, I guess maybe it would be because we're assuming the casual player is not buying the game.
Right, you've got two conflicting.
The person who buys is casual or not? Are they automatically not casual because they make a purchase?
I don't know. That's a good question, because somebody walking up in an arcade is a casual for sure. But if somebody is buying the game, they could still also be a casual player.
Right. If they're a casual player, but they got Bitcoin money, right? Like if they had that auction, that captain's auction a couple of years ago when prices were going through the roof because the people showed up with money out of nowhere and pre-bidding stuff and numbers going out to crazy numbers they're being bidded on and people bidding over the internet. Not everybody was I imagine not everybody was an experienced player. I imagine there's some casuals in there, but they just bought a game.
Sure.
So are they automatically experienced? So now they own a game. So that means they own a game. So now that rule set needs to be deep because they own it. So because they have the chance, they have the privilege, they have the access to play this game as much as they want, as if it were a video game.
Right.
So It needs to be deep so they can find stuff. So,
but this is the conflicting goal, right? If you make the game accessible, right, then you can't make it like absurdly deep. But if you don't make it absurdly deep, then the people that are buying it for their home, they want something with like infinite replay value that they can sink potentially years into learning, trying to get to like final wizard modes. Those two design philosophies for a pinball machine are not like in alignment. They conflict.
And somehow Lyman figured it out. Right?
True.
Back to on some games. I mean, didn't Lyman help with Iron Man? Is that in my little bit? I don't know. And it feels like he did.
Yes, because he added 10 years later, he put an update out for Iron Man, which was crazy. And the only reason I know this is because Serge put together that chart that we were talking about for release, like update stuff. And he said it kind of screwed up his update chart thing because of this one 10-year post update that he did, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. because like that was in my mind. Because I'm like, you know what, Iron Man is the sneakiest, like underrated, like poo-pooed when it came out, but then tightest risk reward thing. But it's not deep, but it is. But it isn't, but it is, because you got do or die multi-ball as the unobtainium. But everything is sort of reachable-ish.
Right.
And it's the most one more gamiest game. Like, I almost did it. It's the I almost did it game. And so it's things like that. Like Walking Dead has
the one
that.
more ball addiction is real,
Yeah.
right?
Like Walking Dead has that. You know, if only I did this and that, I would have gotten 600 million, but I now only have 300.
Steve, can you tell chat to let the color locks go? Like, everybody is so sucked into the green lock ball stuff.
Well, because green is lock. I'm sorry. What do you want? Red is jackpot. Green is lock. Red is jackpot. White is status. You know, sometimes white is a status. That's why it's for combos or for generic things. And then at that point, you can you can do some stuff. But if you're going to teach me a different language, then teach it to me. Like, okay, Turtles taught me that a rainbow shot ends the mode. Okay, they were consistent with that. Great.
Turtles taught me to lube up my asshole with extra lube.
Oh yeah. That's another. I'm just trying to say a good thing I like about Turtles. So when I say the reasons I hate it, it's balance. You know, the balance in the force or whatever. So I don't want to say yes. I want to lead with the good. Yes, rainbow shot, Turtles, end mode, excellent, great. I can plan to put the 2x on it and double it. All right, you know. That was well explained. Excellent. So if you're going to tell me that's what a rainbow shot is, okay. And is it always that? Good. I love you. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So that's another thing. That's the thing that you taught me. Okay. In your game, in your language, rainbow equals I finished it. I did it. Okay. Great. You know, so things like that. So if you're going to change it, fine. You know, just okay. New Avengers taught me that the rainbow shot means a super mode. It's super gauntlet or super this. Or whatever.
So
okay.
When you were doing the rule set for Barrios, right? Let's talk a little bit about Barrios, right? Do you think that I don't think that Barrios is like this, but do you think there's a danger where rule sets become kind of too like kind of spreadsheet driven, formulaic, where it's just like, it's not exciting because it's so expected in terms of like what to do?
I mean, it can be if you don't know anything about the game at all. I mean, if you know about the kind of patterns, you might, you know, but if you're just stepping up, like I mean, this is a Barry game. I can't write War and Peace. That would be disrespectful.
Right.
I can't do that. Okay. And plus the fact, you know, of what I'm working with, I'm trying to take 10 pounds of barbecue sauce and stuff it in a 5-pound bottle with that game. That's what I'm trying to do.
A very apt comparison.
That's what I'm doing. Okay. So I have to make some concessions. I have to add some ambitions. You know, I have 100 pages of ambitions of a rule sheet, you know, literally.
Sure.
Okay. And so I'm like, well, how much of this can I make sense in 3 minutes?
Barrios, I think, has some of the best tournament rules. I would always pick Barrios as a tournament game at Ace Gogi. Most of that had to do with the fact that like not a lot of players knew it, but I think that its scoring was both balanced in a really pleasant way that it made for, and since it was an underplayed game there, it was easier to kind of like have an advantage on it, which is always an important decision for tournament games.
Play the advantage, absolutely play the advantage. But now I'm gonna tell you that advantage. I'll tell you my advantage was slowly bleeding away quickly when I think it at Fantastic. I mean, well, the Fantastic New England game between Jason Zoller and Carlos de la Sorda. That is a video that I keep. I mean, it had to be played. I told him played in a single player because I want to be wary of any like ball count mishaps that are still happening in the July version. So that's why they're single player. I want to make sure it's a finals game or whatever. And so to see Carlos do what he did, his method, and then to see Zoller do what he did, after like we had a 5-minute conversation about fireworks multi-ball. I just told him about it, and he just went up and did it for 2 billion points. And I'm like, you know, that makes me so happy that they proved what I was hoping, that you can take multiple paths to the destination. That's what I wanted. I wanted those multiple paths, and I was like, that's what I wanted. This is what I wanted, and I saw it happen in real time, and that was a pinball moment for me because I was like, because Carlos did what he did. He got the meat coma sub wizard. I'm like, okay, here he comes. He's about to kick ass. This is what he deserves it. He made it to the third battle, and he's spreading his playful X, and he did that on purpose because he knew about that, and he put that on. And then Jason went up and he did a couple things, and he went right for fireworks. Multiball started it, kicked the crap out of it, but he lost by 50 million literally because he didn't start a mode before it. And so on any of those bonus points he would have had never happened. I told him, I was like, if you started the saucer mode, you would have won going away. Because you would have got points. You would have points for every saucer you shot in Fireworks Multiball in your bonus, and you would have blown it out. And that's why you didn't win.
Talking about contemporary, you'd mentioned contemporary rules in terms of layers. Like, I think that's really what is different about modern pinball than the 90s and early 2000s, is that there are multiple paths to points that are all like good, right? It's not just the one trick. The idea of the one trick pony, both in tournament and in like single ball linear kind of like pinball play, is gone.
And that's
it's
what
like,
I'm hoping. That's what I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping is as I'm up 2:30 in the morning, stressing myself out, trying to say, okay, is this going to make sense? Is this unbalanced? I got this playful X that is looking at me that I need, but it's a poison pill, but it's needed, but it's great, but it's also poison. I got to be careful, with it. It's like playing with fire, literally, literally and figuratively. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, are there any spots where they can really exploit stuff? But if they do exploit it, they kind of deserve it because it's not too hard to do. But is it the thing to do? As long as there's multiple things to do, that's still good. Things like that. And these are things that are going in my mind, and I'm like, okay, I just want people to play it, and I just hope that Bill from accounting can tell me what he's doing when he's playing it. I put the game in front of me with the game. Hey, marketing guy, person, somebody from the factory, please come up, play game. I'm not going to tell you anything.
You gotta have info from all levels of skill players.
I need to know your first game. I'm not going to tell you anything. Okay, please. No, okay, and then can you explain to me what that is? Is there anything you weren't going for?
Nuclear Black says that if you watch the old Williams promos, that the selling point of the games was these linear rule sets, which is crazy.
Well, it's because linear didn't have that extra like badness attached to it. Like linear is not necessarily bad. It was also
quarters to a certain degree. Yeah. I mean, because they were marketing these games to operators, not home buyers.
Yeah. Linear is not bad. I mean, it's roadshow. You're trying to go across the country. I mean, there's the line. Okay, right. I want to get across. I made it this far. Guess what else is linear? Video games. Back at that time, right? I mean, it's the linear, right?
And now look at open world games. The idea of choice and having it still be like a valid path is, I think, the modern philosophy for all sorts of things outside of even pinball in terms of digital entertainment.
And I think it's fine for certain modern games to be linear. I mean,
sure.
I like Congo's linear scoring. It can be linear. You linearly go through the map, and you linearly go through here.
I love that.
But it's not linear.
The abundance of 90s games that are just like terrible films, but excellent pinball machines.
Oh my God.
It's just like everything for I guess Waterworld's not a great pinball machine, but like Shadow, Congo.
Yeah. But every time I want to sync the D's, I have him say, sync the D's. Oh, he said D's. Oh, that's funny. He said D's. So I mean, it's linearity is not bad. I mean, I can go to Godzilla and be like, hey, if you don't follow the path, you kind of screwed up, man.
Joe Degenerate has a question he's demanding that I ask you. He's not really demanding. He's doing it very polite. He wants to ask what your philosophy on what a true jackpot should mean.
I talked with him about it. Yeah. A jackpot is not a shot award. Like, okay, a jackpot is a progressive that you put something in. Like, if you win a jackpot, right, in the lottery, it's because everybody put their dollars in and you won that part. That's the pot part.
I love building pooled jackpots, like you're saying. I love those.
That's what it is. No, because that's what a jackpot is. If you're not doing that, then it's just a shot award.
Right.
Like, just don't have all the shot lists and then be like jackpot, jackpot, jackpot,
Yeah,
jackpot, jackpot.
that's so true. You were so true. Holy shit. This is mind blowing.
Okay. The Addams family, right? It started at 10 million, and then you hit the vault and they put $1 million in there, and then they put another $1 million. That's a jackpot. Yeah. And it's
Return the Back Lagoon has a huge building jackpot.
It's huge because you put stuff in. You built it from the bumpers from all game, right? Jackpots are progressive.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
All jackpots should be progressive in some way. Now you have some in other games that seem like it's not doing it right, but right. I'm saying right, like I'm right. According to my philosophy.
Right.
I'm saying right in the internet way. You're right. It's a bad take. It's a good take. Blah blah blah. That way.
It's a hot take.
Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man. You add to the jackpot in a progressive way. It's just spinners and targets. You don't notice it. But then when you get to the jackpot in black suit, it's jackpot, 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 jackpot. It looks like the same value. But no, it's because you put stuff in it. You didn't notice it, but it happened. All right, so those are the ones that ride the line of true jackpot versus shot award. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's
okay,
right there.
I dig it.
And so that's the line to me. That's the dividing line.
That was Joe. That was a good. Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was just saying, Joe, that was a great question. I'm glad he forced us to bring that up.
Thank you, Joe. Like, that's what the jackpot. And so, like, for Barry's game, I really went off the chain with that because I really like progressives, because I like progressive jackpot awards because I like, the way slot machines do that.
Okay, but Shaunasaur brings up a good point. What's a super jackpot now in this scenario?
It depends on the super jackpot needs to be larger than jackpot, right? It has to be.
That checks out for sure.
Now, of course, because sometimes that doesn't happen. Okay, sometimes it doesn't happen that a super is not more than a jack.
Right.
Okay, and the super can be. It needs to be more. It would be great as if it were a cumulative part of all the jackpots you put in. Right, and that's what makes it super. And if you want to go to mega and ultra, it's just that iteration on up.
So there you go. There's tons of ways to kind of finagle a super jackpot into that structure.
It just becomes a super. My jackpots were 300, 400, 500, 600. That means your super is 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, and it's sitting there.
We're going down a bad rabbit hole here. Nuclear Blackers wants to know, what about a super duper mega extreme jackpot? We could just keep adding words to jackpot to do this.
As long as you're using the previous progressives into the new award, I like it because then I know where all the points came from.
Right.
So I can explain it. And so that's why I went really ham with Barry's game, because I'm like, oh man, I really want this concept of the unobtainium, but I want it to be always in your face and always accessible at any time. How do I do that? Megabucks, the Megabucks slot machine. It's always sitting there, and it's $12 million, and it only takes $3 to win, right? And you step up, and no, your $3 just went into that jackpot up there. And so, like, I want that, and so I want that. So that's kind of where the Pitmaster jackpot comes from.
And then you get like massive dopamine rush, the endorphins.
It's sitting there. And then I want everything. I want it to go in it. I want points from your game to go into that, And so that's the unobtainium. But then for tournaments, I wanted to only track yours. That's that we didn't get to. Like, I wanted to get to the point, like, everyone had their own Pitmaster on tournaments so that you couldn't, like, it wouldn't be game to game like Whitewater.
Right. That wouldn't be tournament balance. It'd have to reset.
Right now it's game to game like Whitewater,
Right.
But I want to be like, if you're playing a 3-player game in a tournament, everyone has their own Pitmaster. And so I'm like, no, okay, now that I have this, how do I get the others? Okay, now I can show someone a jackpot in their face all the time. And it's the recipe jackpot, the recipe awards, and the multi-ball jackpot. They're always in your face. Sure. And there's the risk reward staring at you all the time. Do you want to try it now? It's at $1 million. You could.
Or you could.
$2 million. Or how about $2.5 million? It's like, it's at $2 million now. Your friend started at $4 million. You know that because you saw it. I'm at $2 million. This orange shot to cook the recipe right here is going to add 653,240. I know because I see it. Do I want to add that now, or do I want to go for the lock now? And you're sitting there with a ball on your flipper thinking about that. And once you're doing that, I got you. Now I got you.
That's the gotcha moment when you're fully sucked in.
And that can happen 2 minutes into the game. That's what I want. I want that. I got you. And so that's what I want at any point.
Fully sucked in. Speaking of sucking, Moloch Purr wants to know whose dick do you have to suck to get a Golden Girls pinball machine? You'd have to talk to Jack Danger about that. I think he's a full advocate of the Golden Girls.
That needs to happen quickly while the fires are hot, man. You know,
gonna start losing voice talent. I mean, we're down to like how many Golden Girls do we have left?
I mean, man, they're not a lot of match game shows you can get Betty White's voice from. You know, if you want to do that,
yeah. Gonna have to train an AI model or something. Speaking of other things that suck, let's talk about Deeproot.
Yeah, that sucked. Yeah, Voldemort. I will say Deeproot during this show. I should say Voldemort as my key phrase
Do you think Deeproot would have made the Golden Girls pinball machine?
And maybe, I mean, you know, with the amount of rule set that I wrote for that, maybe. I mean, who knows what the licenses we went for, but I mean, there were so many that I had literally written rule sets for, which I know which ones I can talk about because I do have the printout. I did my research. So for people, which ones I can talk about.
For people that don't know, let me crash course them. So Deeproot was Mueller, a non-pinball person, Robert Mueller, who had a idea that he wanted to create a visionary pinball company. And he's the guy, he had a law degree, essentially. Like, this was like the most non-pinball person.
But yet he also has Wizard Mode Media Company and Deeproot.
Yeah, like all sorts of weird stuff.
Like, there was other things that you find out in the bankruptcy documents that later, like, oh, Wizard Mode Media is a thing. Oh, then they had this thing. Then they had this thing. It's like, it's a different subsidiary of it. But it's not the animation studio, because that's different. So I dealt with those guys. I collaborated with them. That's different. Oh, I don't know. And let's put parentheses allegedly in front of the whole conversation, because we don't know.
Deeproot had Papa Duke. They had J-Pop. And they were working on Raza, which was a Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland.
Had Dennis. Had
Dennis.
Norseman.
Like I'm juggling marbles in my mouth. So, but then it collapses. There's a huge lawsuit. All the assets kind of get sold off. And you got an email like after the fact, or saw that there was like a lawsuit for like $53 million.
I read the news about the $52 million, right? And so I'm literally like at home. I'm about to write the next part of the rules on my website. I'm on Fun with Bonus. I'm on the publishing page. Okay, I was like, okay. I'm building on this fact. Okay, because previously. Let me go back in the timeline a tad.
Sure.
Right?
Wait, we got to do a sound effect. You ready?
Yeah.
Right, that's good enough.
Right. And then, so I'm like, okay, we're in development. Okay, we're making progress. I'm doing testing. I'm literally like testing what happens when you kill 100 zombies. Does it loop the number correctly or whatever? I'm into that minutia, right? How's the scoring? How's this work? Okay. And so I'm like, okay, we're far enough along where this is going to start to happen soon. So I want to get some information out there that is like stuff that has been done. I don't want to talk about what we're gonna do. I hate gonna. No more gunnas.
You told me you wanted to put it out there so people would have a fair chance. You didn't want to have an advantage in tournaments. Like, how awesome is that?
Let me get to that. Yes, that was part of it. I was like, this was the argument I was bringing to the administration. You know, Mueller and people who were there. Like, okay. I want permission to start releasing information about what's on the game so that by the time it comes out, people can see what's on it, and I have no unfair advantage. And so, and also people can see it, and if they're interested, they'll look at it. If they're not, they'll just wait till it comes out or whatever. And so I started writing a side story in the perspective of the princess character, and the princess of the player, and also in princess of the player. This is one player called the player, capital T and capital P. That's you, right? Or me. That's the player is at the same time the greatest player in the world and also a casual player. They're the mysterious player we're trying to market to. That's that person. It's the person that's in my rule sets called the player. The player will, the player can, the player has the option to. It's known as the player. All right, so I'm writing all this stuff over, and trying who's Ned, who are zombies, whatever. How's the pinbar work? What are your items and everything? Here's what we have in the game, sections, all this stuff. Okay, so I have all that written because I asked permission to do it. I was like, yes, this is what we want to do. So let me do that. Okay, got permission. So anything that's on my website, which shall remain for as long as I'm paying for it, just go search Raza. go to funwithbonus.com, search RAZA. You will see a list of stuff. And that is what was on the game at the time that I heard, or that I heard about the 52 million. All right. Because I'm literally sitting down on my desk, ready to write the next section when I read it. And so now I'm like,
yeah. It looks like it's here too. Look.
So immediately, the very latest page should be Sands dunking a basketball, talking about get dunked.
Don't worry about that other one.
And there's a funny post about Patrick Ewing or something. Yeah, because I'm talking about what get dunked on mode is, because I thought it was funny, and I put Sands there because it's an inspiration to him, right? But it's the reference that's not mentioned in the game, but it's like that. So that should be the last post up there. And so I'm sitting there at my desk, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Well, after being, the shock of it, whatever, I processed that for like 5 seconds. So like, well, should I continue writing this? Is my website evidence in whatever this would be? I don't know the law, so that's why I stopped. So
because you don't want to get sucked into a lawsuit that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Like, you're a creative person trying to do creative things, while this Ponzi scheme dude is like dumping this company into oblivion.
So that's literally why I stopped there. That's why I stopped, because I'm like, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to, call my family and talk about some adult decisions I need to make about this, and so that's why it stops there. So I'm like, okay, I'm in a house in San Antonio trying to pay a mortgage. Let's figure this out. All right. So that's why it stops there. So that will remain there as part of pinball history. I was wondering what was going to happen with DPX, if they were going to come out with Raza.
Well, so that was my next question. Is the game that Dutch Pinball Exclusives put out anything similar to the game that you worked on?
I have no idea. I was not consulted. I don't know. So that's why I was going to be interested in saying, okay, is it going to change stuff? Because they're not going to have the pin bar, so they have to do something else.
Right. Pin bar is the LCD screen.
The one thing with the pin bar that made it awesome was because, I can be like, it makes multiple decision making easy, because it's like touching a screen. Like, like I had my shop. I had my shop before Mandalorian. So like Mandalorians came out, and I was like, man, that's cool. Like, that would have been cool to get on a pin bar if Mandalorian did something like that. So I had a shop too, but it doesn't count because it didn't come out. We saw the shop at What's Brewing once, so you saw it. I don't know where the video is. You gotta ask if people did it. But I was like, you just touch it, bam, bam. You buy it, and then if you don't want it, you don't buy it. Oh, I don't want it. I do want it. I want this power. I don't want it. So you can see all the power-ups on the website that were there.
Sure.
Like all the power-ups that were there.
Pinball really expanded the amount of decision-making that you could make in a pinball machine.
And that was good, but the bad part is, will it pass the beer test? And it seems like it did. It seems like it did pass the beer test from what I saw. But do you trust it? I don't know. So I
pass the beer test sometimes,
but I don't know if it passes the beer test. I mean, sure, you dump the thing on it, it was fine. I mean, according to what I saw, but
I feel like making a seal so that you could still have a hepatic touch go through is not an impossible challenge.
And it seemed like it was fine. But again, would people trust that? I mean, you're trying to put this in the bar. You don't know. People put their drinks on pinball machines.
And you're a new company, not you, but like Deeproot itself is like a new company. Like, there's a certain amount of like brand kind of proving you have to do, I think, as any kind of startup. But you're selling a machine that's $10,000 ish, depending on whatever the price point was.
$58.99.
$58.99?
$58.99. Yeah.
Wow, that's such a reasonable price.
I have
for
the
a
printout.
machine that never happened.
I have the printout just in case it was, I just want to make sure I could talk about.
Back. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to know what I could talk about. So, if anything that was released on the This Week in Pinball post, I can talk about. So I have it. So, right. So that's why I know what rule says I can talk about. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So that's one reason why I missed the pin bar is because, man, I could have your status report looking at you the whole time, and you don't have to look away from it because it's right here.
And you're already kind of looking at your flippers anyways. It's a much more logical spot for like UI interface player stuff.
Right. And so I could just look at it, and there it is. Cool. Okay. Anybody have any problem seeing your playfield legs from here? No? Good. Is it uncomfortable in any way? Good. All right. Good. That's great. So I can have this part of the screen for other information, like you killed a zombie, you killed a zombie duck, you did that. Okay. So, all right. It gives so much flexibility. The MagnaSave is right there on the button. Boom, MagnaSafe, done. Touch it, done. Hold it if you want. Touch it, worked. Okay, flung it out like Black Knight or whatever. It just flung it out.
Easy.
Goes back in. Easy, nice. And then the shot log. Oh, let's have a shot log that shows everything you ever shot in the whole game. Here's a whole list of everything. Points and everything. Oh, you shot a spinner 20 times?
That's wonderfully innovative. It's just, it's such a tragedy that this person's lack of... Yeah.
The team, the Turner team, shout outs to Turner, the Turner team, Turner Pinball, who were working with them at the time, who were doing programming side, some of the programming side, most of the programming side. Yeah, I mean, and they were like, and I was like, hey, make sure that when you do a spinner that you don't show 47 10-point spinners, that you show the 10 rolling up in the same line up to 470. And there it is. Yes. So it's not 47 10s. It's one line going spinner 10 470. Because that makes sense. And then underneath it, things are still happening, bumper or whatever, and then it's gone. Oh, the playfield X, put the playfield X next to it so it can say.
But those details are important so that you don't get overloaded in a way that is just like Apple has made their entire business about trying to figure out how to simplify information and present it in a way that isn't, whether they're successful or not is a different conversation.
Right. So this stuff was making me hype. I'm like, okay, this is really cool. This might be a good thing to really help people look more at the game instead of, the screen, and then the screen they're looking at is convenient. Okay, good. And so that's part of my reason why I was hype about it. I was like, great. But then, there are definitely drawbacks. It's an extra piece of equipment. Do people damage it? Again, the rear test. So there's pluses and minuses with it. But hey, you give me an extra screen space, I'm going to try and use it as efficiently as I can. And I thought we did. I thought I did pretty well. And hey, I just loved that I could show you your status report live, so you could see it. Like, if instead of going to the status report, you could just swipe up to the status report if you want.
How annoying is it to have to flip through pages and pages of information just to get to the one thing that you actually want to see?
But you have to if you want to find it, because there's not enough screen space to do it. So I'm like, oh man, I can just leave it there if you want. Yeah, just leave it there. Oh, this is great. So I can just see, oh, there's my bonus coming up live in real time.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what my bonus is.
You have all these creative people working on innovative concepts, and you're unlucky because the people that are running it and have the money are just not in the same alignment with that. Right. And this carries on because
it might possibly be the person running the money.
The person. Let's put a name to it. It's Robert Mueller. Like, we don't need to shy away from this. This man destroyed this company and a lot of people's faith in pinball startups. But then, let's talk about American Pinball 1.0, right? You're like the most unlucky person in pinball. Like, you have all these ideas and you keep getting involved in people's companies that seem like they really have the best interests of the creatives at heart. But then the shit comes out and it's like, But
American Pinball is a different situation. How many of you know what a Vasani is? Do you know what it is? What's it? What is it? Exactly, journalists. What's a Vasani? Okay, so the reason why, the fact that you don't know that name is the issue. All right.
Okay.
There are people being blamed. Some of which I hope are in this chat, who is not their fault. Right?
So
there are people that are curious. They fired me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. No.
But that's the issue when nobody wins when these kind of situations happen. And obviously, American Pinball has been repurchased by Brian, I think is his name.
Oh, yeah, they got funding. I'm like, come on, American, they got funding now. I'm like, you know what? This is looking good. Okay, let's see. Come on, show me something good. I'm ready. I'm getting hyped again. Because again, they got funding. They're not fighting with another company who's. That's a whole show with itself.
For sure. Well, I'm very curious what happened. Cuphead, and shit like that.
We're here in creative. We're here below the line, trying to figure out, trying to make sure to get a game out at a reasonable price. This is why we have live streams. Okay, this is why live streams it's okay that live streams are 3 hours. Okay, because you get into things and you talk about things and things go into other things and you get to talk about other things in a slightly haphazard, disorganized way, and it makes sense at the end or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like we're slotting it in. We're like, we got a structure going.
But it's fine even if we didn't, because you'll get to it next week or next time or whatever. Sure. It's fine.
Well, you heard it, Chad. That means you agreed to come back on my podcast. That's how I'm interpreting that.
Yes, I do agree to come back on your podcast. But you can slide it into a clip later. That's just how internet discourse works. But I mean, just giving an example. I mean, this with Barry's game is my most personal example. I'm trying to, carry through Barry's vision, and the team is doing it. And we're all working hard. The team creators, we're all in a vision and all great. Everybody, great. I'm not going to name names, but I could name all of them.
I'm going to name a name
because I know them all, and they're all great, and I hope that, and they're all doing great things, and they're with the program, and they're helping me. They're making sense of what I'm saying. I'm making sense. They're telling me where I'm not making sense. They're reining me back in when I should.
There's a huge issue on Pinside that you are not credited for Barrio's barbecue.
But I am.
You should be on the credit list for Barrio's barbecue. If anybody at Pinside is watching this, fix that shit.
Okay. I mean, hey, I'm the one that gets the bottles thrown at me, and when people don't like it, so I'll take the credit. But I also get the credit live at shows when they talk to my face, so that's good.
Sure, but your name is on the play field.
Yeah, well, it's on the apron twice. So, and I wanted to make sure I wanted to make sure that it was not at the head of the table, because that's where Barry's name goes. And I said, it definitely doesn't need to be second, because I got Dennis there. So Dennis, with his contribution, should be second. I'm privileged to have both their names there along and anywhere near mine on a thing.
Sure, but modern pinball machines.
My name is on rules, so I'm going to be there twice, so it doesn't matter. And then I also want to make sure that Ryan McQuay's name is there for the bash logs, at least for all his help that he did, because I want to make sure he gets credit for it.
But on the topic of credit, like, games don't generally have who worked on them printed on the playfield anymore. So it is on the manufacturers, and it is on the internet at large to kind of document this. Otherwise, the people that are associated with these projects will only be in stories, and that's not okay. That's not okay. There's too many people that work on projects, and it's more and more for, like, as pinball evolves and gets larger, that if you are working on a project, you should be credited on it.
We need the record to be correct. That's why Ryan McQuaid is there. Okay, I need the record to be correct. All right. So just as going back a little bit in the timeline there, I was like, we're dealing with Barry's game, and I'm trying to, respect the vision, and Barry passed. I'm trying to.
So at what point? Because Barry passed mid-development or towards the end of the release. Like, when did Barry die?
That's like beginning of, because okay, we're at Voldemort's. Okay. I'm going to be hired in American. I'm moving up to Chicago from San Antonio. I'm not bringing my games because I don't want to move them again. So I sell them off so I can afford to live in Chicago, because Chicago costs so much money to live here. So I don't have any games in here now. I actually do have one game. I have a Eldorado Seed of Gold that I'm holding for a friend that I hope is in
the most drop targets in pinball, right? Jesus
Christ. Great for me, because I need to work on my aim. So that's great for me. So I'm hired at American. Barry is hired at American. He's getting his stuff straight out. He's got his health insurance out so he can get his cancer treatment, because that was being wonky, whatever, making sure that's taken care of. And then there was the thing within that treatment where we had the issues. I don't want to get too far with it, but that's where it happened. Like, there was somewhere in this cancer treatment, something happened not well, and that's where
I'm struggling to hear you. But something happened.
Something happened within the treatment. I believe that's what happened, is within the treatment he was having to, be good. He was enthusiastic. I mean, he's going to work with me. Dennis is going to work with Ryan.
What was Barry's previous game? I mean, had it been a while since he had released or worked on a game?
Well, he was working on the game that was going to be after Raza, which was Food Truck. That's not a secret. That's one of the games I can talk about. I got to know right there, right? So he was working on that at Deeproot. So yeah, that was going to be his next one. And so I'm talking with him about the game. We're talking about rules or whatever. I am literally here in this residence where I'm at now, with no furniture. I'm talking to him on the phone. He's going to come up, and then it happens, and he's no longer with us, so, and at that point I furiously try. I mean, this is early in development, okay, because I at that point, it was very haphazard with the rules, trying to figure out what it was going to be. Okay, whatever. I furiously tried to write down everything I was going to talk to him about.
Right.
I don't want to forget everything. If I forget anything, I will just not forgive myself. So, okay, let me just, make sure I get everything. Okay, whatever. It's really haphazard. It's disorganized, whatever. It's very disorganized. Just get it all down. After the grieving process happened, okay, I'm just in the office I had for 2 solid hours, maybe more. I don't know how long it took. I'm just writing.
What was the corporate like vibe? Like you lose someone who's such a like pinnacle part of pinball history. I mean, what?
Well, for the first few hours, I didn't know because I was sequestered in the room grieving and then writing the rules. So that was where I was doing. So I might have looked like a hermit, really being despondent about it, which I was, but then I had to come back to being a professional and be like, okay, let's carry this forward. Let's get the team behind it, which the team was behind it. So it's not like that was an effort or anything. Like they were going to do it. You got Barry's friends literally working here. Okay. You got some people that Barry's worked with. All right, that I've worked with on other games that are literally working with it. Yeah, they're behind it, 100%. And it becomes Barrio's Barbecue Challenge instead of the Barbecue Challenge. It becomes Barrio's game.
That was going to be my next question. Was Barrio's name on the title before he's passing?
No, it was not. No, it was going to be like Fishtails, Whitewater, Barbecue.
Right, for sure.
It's going to be like a name that's like a generic-ish name that's not a license like Fishtails is. It's not Fishtails, not a license.
Hey, I'm a huge advocate of IPs. You lose you get rid of all the bullshit of having to deal with an IP holder that's like you can or can't do this. It's like King Barbecue's not going to come down and tell you what you can't do with brisket. Like fuck off, King Barbecue.
But what you trade off is mind share.
Right.
So everyone knows what this license is, so you get that mind share at the beginning, and so that's what the license is for. So I understand.
And IPs mean a lot to people. I'm blown away by how many people are obsessed with it. They'll just buy a game on. I mean, look at the success of Pokemon. It's a perfect example.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. That thing was guaranteed. Yeah. Now people are like Pokemon's not my thing. Pokemon doesn't matter. Pokemon doesn't care that it's not your thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Pokemon does not care that you.
Pokemon's big money bucks doesn't care.
Pokemon does not care about you. Okay, it doesn't.
No, not even a little.
So and it was during that process where like I had my haphazard foundation of rules for the game, and then where I started to try to figure out how could I make this a tribute to Barry? How could I try to represent his other games in this game, but not be too obvious, but still make it work? Because you can't just stable 2 things together. It's still got to work. How can I do it and make it work? And so that's where it kind of happened, where in that process of me being sequestered, trying to figure out, okay, what can I do to make this work? And it's still disorganized. There was still a period where I had like 3 different rules. There was also rules to 3 different games melded into one, and then I finally melted that together into one thing that made sense. I mean, I guess we can get to a screen share thing. This is a screen share moment, actually.
Yeah, let's do it. It looks like I'm checking the Twitch stream. It looks like we're way behind in terms of broadcast. So I think chat so far.
Oh yeah, we are.
Which is crazy. I don't know how that happened, but
as long as you're still hearing us well, as long as the VOD is coming through, right? Okay.
Yeah, right? Like, we're good. Just have to check it later. But yeah, let's let me know when you've got it pulled up, and I'll switch over to the full screen.
Let me make sure that I am in the right spot. I'm gonna have to find it. Sorry, but there was a presentation that we did in a couple of the shows. Like I think we did one at Pentastic, we did one at Texas Pinball Festival when Barry's game was coming out.
Well,
and so that's so let me find it now. I had it up and now the tab has disappeared. Where'd you go? Did I close it? All right, give me a moment as I find where it went. Okay, is this it? Yay. Okay. Yes, here it is. Okay. Let's drag it into the middle of the screen and then let's share properly. All right. Select 3. Okay.
Yeah, Chad, if you ask your questions and get to this, it's going to be way in the future at this point.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Right. Yeah.
That's how it is.
So I see someone ask, where's my credit for Panther 1 and GTF? It's there. I'm in the credits. It's there. We got our credits in there. We actually do have credit there. All the people who did their cameos in Galactic Tech Force with all the pilot characters. Yeah, we're in there. So, okay. So do you see the presentation?
I got you pulled up, your full screen. We're looking at Barrio's Barbecue Challenge, American Pinball 2024.
Right. So this was the presentation that we gave talking about, there was car hop and why we couldn't name it car hop, but it's obviously a car hop name, and then the process of the inserts going in, and then Ryan McQuaid doing it on VPX and making that work and showing that to the team, and the team flipping it already in like no time at all. He did this. He was so good with that. And us showing things we needed to move, things that really wouldn't work, like where I wish the spinners were as opposed to where they ended up, because I couldn't do that because it's a different spinner, and so whatever. But here's some more VPX stuff. I'm going to do this way too quickly, but
no, that's okay. Well, I mean, we're not really doing a presentation on Barrios, but seeing into behind the curtain.
But it's like here's me doing initial screen stuff of what I want to see on the screen and stuff. Okay, so here's go. So let me get to the end. So here's like the shout outs to the other games. See? And so these are the games that I can really put like as strong enough shout outs that are on the play field, in the rules, or on the screen somewhere.
Cool.
That you can pick out, that were like a part of Barry's career. Like, Space Shuttle, we got the lock, Space Station Procedure, Phoenix, the name of the grill is the Iron Phoenix, and then the grill fixed targets are in the Phoenix position. Barracuda for the top lanes with the stacked top lanes. Fire literally says fire on the in lanes, right? And then Save My Baby Back Ribs and all that.
What's the Doctor Who one?
Save My Baby. Doctor Who is multiple. First of all, you have the playfield exit ramp on the right, which goes from 1.5x up to 4. That's from Doctor Who. You also have the boss chef lanes, like not the boss chef lane. The barbecue pit, one of the skill shot power-ups is to make barbecue pit easier. So what it does is if you hit one, it spots another one, like Dr. One. That's one. So and then you also have, if you complete the boss lanes at the top, it gives you it spots you 2 spots up the playfield legs per shot and not just one, and that's Dr. 6.
Huh.
You see?
Cool.
So, but if you didn't know that, you wouldn't care. You just know, okay.
No, but it's still so cool that these moments exist.
It says playfield ramp X upgrade on the screen. So I got the playfield X upgrade. Oh, it went up there quicker. That's all you know. Right? But if you know the behind the scenes, now you know why. Now you know why I put that in there. Right. So there's multiple shout outs to that. You got, Space Shuttle has the grid, the 5x3 grid, right? And with the bonus, right? That's Space Shuttle, and it can spell letters. It counts down when the mode does it from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Sure.
Right.
I got to ask what the Bram Stoker's Dracula one is. That's like one of my favorite games of 90s for sure.
Okay, so Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay, so first of all, the position of the target banks, the position of the ramps, arguably, but also the big one is if you push your grills too hard, like if you're overheating your grills, like you use the bumpers too much, right? What happens is a hurry up mode that's like the bats mode on Dracula. So like, you hit 15 switches and then your bats go away and then you get the bonus.
And then but you get that in bonus at the end, right?
That's what happens. And so you get that bonus on the screen and you get to keep the value of your overpowered bumpers instead of losing it. If you lose it, your grills break and then you break down and then you go back down a level. Like you don't lose points, you just break down your grills so you can't increase as fast. Because what happens is the bumpers can get to a point where they can become game breaking. So player me is like, great, score points. Rules me is like, I got to reel that in. And so that's what that mode is. But if you break me, if you pass me, you deserve it. You get to break the game a little bit more until they break some more. So I'm always pressing, like they're overheated again. So I'm trying to break you back down. But if you don't get broken down, then you can blow the game up. So that's one of the little bit of an exploits you have in there. So there you go.
Do you think that every game should be able to be blown up, right? Like I feel like a lot of designers.
Yeah, why not? But you can look at it and see if there's an issue. If there's a really bad issue, no.
Where do you draw the line between scoring exploit and blowing the game up?
How easy is it for someone else to do?
All right.
Like how what's the procedure? What's the procedure on someone else doing it? Is it lucky for someone else to do it? Like for example, let me come off of this because let me unshare Stuff here. Okay, there we go. I'll share other things maybe when we get to it. But sure. I think maybe my line is the snake thing on Deadpool. That's like the boundary line. Like there's an issue there, in my opinion. There's a skill factor in that, definitely.
Wasn't the snake like an accidental like side effect of like the playfield layout, and then they were like, let's make this a rule?
Yeah, it's an accidental for a huge playfield X that lasts a long time.
Right.
And they're like, oh, like I love it, and then I don't. And I'm like, there's a way you can do that to get around it by just using the target itself.
Sure.
And then the ramp too, but I'm not on the clock, so I'm not going to say because no one's paying me for it. So, yeah, so I think that's like a boundary line there. It's like, yeah, you blow up Deadpool by getting 5x playfield and destroy, and then looking at the game the wrong way.
Yeah.
How easy is it for someone else to get there? There's arguments either way. There's like a 3-hour debate in there. And so
we have some questions from the past. Isn't that cool? Mm-hmm. They're like time traveling questions.
Questions from the past. I hope it's not my internet that's doing this.
One of these is just a straight out compliment to AP Games, which it's during your era, so that's great. They're just saying that it's disappointing that they get a lot of hate because they're not IPs that people know, but that the games are just solid. I really like the Magician one, Houdini. Yeah, that's a really fun game.
I like Houdini. The shot's a little bit too tight.
Oh yeah, I know they are so narrow. They're literally the width of the ball. Like you couldn't even slide a business card past it.
But just make sure it's balanced, and make sure you backhand more things. Make sure if you can backhand the lock, your game is balanced. Because there's a little cut in there that helps it go in. But it's still hard. I'm not saying it's easy. No.
Right.
Okay. No. But I mean, the wizard mode on Houdini makes me mad. That needs to be changed. That's why I was hoping that Houdini would get like some sort of remastering.
Well, I mean, it got a release with the new art package from French, but I don't think it came with any code updates.
No, I was hoping a reimagining was going to be that.
Has anybody reached out to you about potential code updates for what do you refer to like to the American Pinball first generation again? Is that like 1.0? Like what would you call that?
No, I don't know. I don't have a separation. I'm just saying the time I was there. I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever. Do you think has American even approached you or talked to you about any potential updates for games that you had been involved with?
I mean, they're saying they're going to do Galactic update. That needs to be worked on, even though there were improvements on it, which were cool. Still need to put that anti-timeout thing in the timer for tournaments.
So is American Pinball actively updating their original roster? Like, are you working with them still or no?
No, I'm not. I've talked with Mr. Vincent. We had a conversation for a while. We talked about games. We talked about reimagining. I heard that word before everybody else did.
Sure. So they are wasting your talents by not bringing you back on board for the new games. I'm saying it right
so I would say I would be open to it. I would just have to make sure that my responsibilities are clearly delineated, clearly defined, because I spread myself too thin again. And I ended up doing like 7-8 different things. I mean, like by the time I was done there, I was doing like game design because of circumstance, rules design, marketing, sales, QA, game testing, quality assurance, the live stream production. And yeah, that's 8.
Dude, that's too many hats.
And then whatever subdivisions came with that naturally happened, So yeah. So
Unbelievable.
So that was part of it. So yeah, I'm willing to do it, and that's because I'm just trying to make this thing work. Like, come on, let's go. I know we don't have a lot of time. I know Aimtron went public, so for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for us. I know what that means. Come on, let's go. And
right.
So. And so yeah. So yes, I just to put it out there. Yes, I would like to be working for a pinball company. That would be cool. I just want to make sure that I can continue to be as honest and forthcoming as I always am.
Sure.
No matter who I'm working for.
So if you're a pinball company and you don't have a person doing good rules, what are you doing? Get you a Steve Bowden right away.
I need to be able to still have my website. I need to be able to still objectively comment on games, including our own. I need to be these things need to happen. I need to still have my integrity. Still needs to be intact.
let's address that, because that's something that, when I started working in pinball, I also was just like, this is a non-negotiable. Like, the community respects people that provide honest opinions. Nobody wants to hear someone blowing smoke up their ass about how their product is this, that, or the other thing if it's not true. And you can't hide behind like evidence, right? Like if a game has a problem, like you just have to acknowledge it. Or if something's just not fun, like, okay, like it's not the end of the world. Like, what are you doing by lying to try to sell more games? It just doesn't work. Like, that's just not my jam.
Preach into the choir. I mean, I know transparency is a dangerous word in creative thing, but transparency is also one of the most important words nowadays on the internet. Everybody wants transparency. Transparency gives you more of that human factor, because they know, that's one of the things that live streams like this are better, are viewed more, because people want, there's transparency. You don't have time to produce the stuff and whatever stuff.
That's why I love doing it live, man. You can't dodge questions, and everything that comes out of your mouth is like permanently on the internet.
Which is another thing. It's like people also have to watch the part of watching everybody saying stuff and just jumping on people for saying a thing. You said the thing, so you're bad. I was like, maybe it was off the cuff. Maybe they made a mistake or something.
Sure.
And go back and
you know how hard it is to talk.
That's
I mean,
the other part of it.
You out of anybody knows how difficult it is to be talking live.
And hey, I haven't been brave enough to hit the go live button yet, but I got my live stream background. So see, shout out to Australia, by the way. This is the reason why. Hey, Australia, this is why I wanted all those Poise toasters. See.
Shout out to Netherworld Arcade. Dude, Australia loves pinball so much. It is such a shame that it is so difficult to get pinball machines over there. They need to build like some sort of like tube. Like, do you like tubes? Tubes are cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine a pinball tube that just goes straight from like whatever, America, like Chicago or Texas, all the way to Australia.
I mean, Mr. Pinball's trying. I mean, he's doing the best he can. Mr. Pinball Australia is trying, But the boat can only go so fast, right? The planes can only fly so often, and gas is $6. So, there's all sorts of factors that go into this thing, right?
It's just a dedicated pinball transportation lane is I think in the future. We need it.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know where I was talking about. That's good.
We were talking about American Pinball.
I have no idea where we were.
And I asked you this before we started to go live, and I think it's a really important question. You kind of answered it saying that you would still like to work for a pinball company, but like, dude, kudos to you. How do you keep the motivation after being kind of involved with things that are totally out of your control? You're creative, you just want to make cool pinball machines, and these companies just keep like shitting on the people that are working underneath them unintentionally, intentionally, I don't know what it is, but like, how do you stay motivated for that?
I don't know. As part of that, maybe the pinball fever. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's. I mean, I do love pinball. Sometimes I wonder if pinball loves me. That's really, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. I'm 0 for 2. But there's a community.
I think this is got to be
community of people that I like and hang out with, and they like it, and they like me. And I mean, I don't want to get all Steve from Blue's Clues about it, but yeah, it's kind of that. It's kind of I mean, if I didn't try this whole pinball thing, I wouldn't have a game with my name on it. And so the good and the bad of it, that wouldn't happen. I'd still be in education.
Nothing feels better than a game coming out with your name on it, right?
Yeah, I have a legacy. I have something with mine that happened. That we cannot take. It happened. It's evidence. This happened. We had a team. The team worked. We managed our difficulties, differences, and similarities and meetings, and we put it together and created a commercial product, which is fantastic. And we know it's real because not everybody likes it and not everybody hates it. Like, okay, so
that's how you know you've landed right in the middle of creating something very real.
Right, because one thing because everybody likes it, you have a cult, right? Cult, right? You have the trifecta triangle, you have a cult. If everybody doesn't like it, then not even your mother, then you have a problem. That's another problem.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got blinders on where you think it's great and everybody's telling you it's not, that's a problem.
Right. So you need, if everybody likes it, bad. If everybody hates it, bad. So so now okay, yeah. So if people, I saw a show yesterday, people were making snide comments about Barry's game. I know that, that was cool. That was good. I understand yesterday's show, about Barry's game. That's good. But, everybody laughed. But I'm like, but to me, I'm like, yo, that makes this valid. That means I have a valid product in the world because they're both good and bad. The people who tell me it's good, they tell it to me to my face. The people who tell me that it's, checks notes sarcastically, of what the official word on the game, and by the way, and confirming that we can curse on the show.
Oh, for sure. Did you not hear me swear a whole shit ton already?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, I don't.
People don't like the game, and then people who also say the game is deeply shitty. Okay, cool. So I take that as yes, not constructive criticism, but I know it's a valid object in the world because not everyone likes it.
So you're not going to make a game that literally everybody loves, anyways. It's just it's impossible.
That's my point. You can't. If you did, something's wrong.
Right.
You have a cult. Something happened.
Hey, what's wrong with cults?
Yeah, right. It's bad. The cult. This is a cult of personality.
It's the cult of pinball, man. The cult of pinball.
I've been in dealings with the triangle, man. The Great Pyramid. Okay, we've been boys. We've been boys. We've been girls. We've been.
All right. So there's some good cults, but you're living in an echo chamber if you're thinking that you're only, if the feedback you're getting is so filtered down to one end or the other.
Right, but I mean, do you know who's the most critical of their game? Me, the designer. I'm like, tell me what you don't like about Barry's game.
Would you? I mean, as somebody,
I have it on my list right now. I bet you, I have a list of things that I don't like. Tell me.
Oh, but any creative knows that any project is never ending. You could always tweak. You could always try to improve. Right. It's just that's the curse of making art, and I think pinball is art. It's a culmination of so many different arts into one package.
It's the artist's paradox, right? If you keep messing with it, and all of a sudden now you have a blob on the canvas. You can't do that. That's the artist's paradox. Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate when they tell me what things they like and things they don't. I'm like, so I can learn. So the next time I get the keys to the kingdom, if I get a seat in the captain's chair like I got this time, I'll see what happens. I'll take that into the next thing.
Audio enslaved from the past says that pinball loves you, Steve. So we have confirmation.
I hope so.
Confirmation.
Well, pinball people like me.
No, he said pinball.
I don't know. All right. Okay. I know that. I mean, I do have. Maybe I'll have to consult. Maybe I have to consult the Great Pyramid again because they're definitely. I think the Great Pyramid knows whether or not. I mean.
Great Pyramid loves you.
I still love it. I still love it.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that the Great Pyramid is obsessed with you.
I still love it, but I'm 0 for 2. I'm damaged twice.
It's not your fault. It had nothing to do with you.
This is just me personally. There are a lot of other people who worked at Voldemort's who were damaged worse than I were. Because they were working there, they didn't know, and they were also damaged. And I'm like, I feel for them.
Well, the frustrating thing is, like, think of the pinball talent that may have been, kind of like demoralized to the point where we'll never see what those people could have done, right? Because of the situations that occurred.
Just plans, so many good plans, just pages and pages of good plans and things we were working on and rules and innovative things.
Would you lead the design of a game?
Oh yeah, of course. Why not? But I know what that comes with. I mean, at least I'm a little less naive now.
For sure. I mean, I think people don't understand like the amount of work that kind of a forefront, not that that's you, I'm not implying that, but just that, designing a game, just when you look behind the curtain, the amount of work that goes into this versus what you think it is on the outside is like totally different. At least it was for me. Maybe it's different for you.
You think you know. You don't know. Oh, it should take this long to get code out. No, you don't know. Why isn't the code out yet? Because it's not ready. Okay. Somehow Valve figured this out. I don't know. Like they figured it. It's ready when it's done. And code should be out now. Well, why don't we have enough? It's tough. It's interconnections. It's things. It's not only is it the actual code itself, it's the licensor.
Well, it's more difficult with a pinball machine because you're looking at something that is consuming a substantial amount of space. Software on a hard drive can be invisible. You can move on from it and forget about it, and then come back when it's actually ready.
But there's so many things. There's so much push pull things you got to work with. There's another. I'm talking about Barry's game too much, but because I could forever because it's my tribute to him and whatever, and I just hope that. I hope it was a worthy tribute to him, and it's not finished. And I wish it was
that's
finished.
frustrating.
It isn't finished. It isn't finished. I mean, there's an octothorpe where the grid is. That's supposed to do something. That's the reason why there's an octothorpe sitting there. And if you look at it, you know why it's there. I mean, what do tic-tac-toe symbols do? They do 3 in a row things. So things like that, you know. But then you get to all the way to the business side of it, where it's like, okay, we're trying to do what Barry wants to do, and what I want to do, and what we want to do as a team. And then and I'm also like designing against myself because I want to save money, because I want the game to come out at a cheaper price so that as many people can buy it as possible.
Yeah.
And then
you don't understand that unlimited budgets is not a thing in pinball. Like, there's a reason that things get cut or modified in a way to make it cheaper.
And then like promises get made. It's like, you know, I'm like, yes, we're going to be able to bring the game out at a price with a 5 in front of it. Please, that's very important. I want a distributor to be able to get this game with a price with a 4 in front of it. They can sell that. You know how big that would be? And then we do all this work and do all this compromising. I do rule of 3 everywhere because that's the board we have, you know, so we use that. I can't put the spinners where I want because that's the spinners we have, so the spinners don't work as well as they could. It's because they were near the front and if they were different, and yet the game still comes out at $69.95. And I've been angry in times in my life, and that was a time. And there are people maybe in this chat who know how angry I was because they saw it, and they were angry too. So
was it announced that was going to be the cost of the game publicly before they made the change, or?
No, the change was internal. And the first announced price was $6,995, and but it's because it was told to us first. You know, like I was so disappointed because I realized I got trapped. I trapped myself. Okay, but it was gonna be $6,995 anyway, and maybe I shouldn't have designed against myself.
You know? Yeah, because you're trying to build a different game at a different price point using different things.
I mean, there's other stuff that like Ryan wanted to bring. Ryan wanted to bring an extra feature that we could hit so that the middle isn't so boring. You know, let's put that in. If you're going to charge them the $69.95 anyway,
yeah,
that wasn't the point. You're going to sell less games. Come on, did you just put the $69.95 in a sell spreadsheet and it looked good? Like, don't you understand? You're going to have less number over here in the column marked games sold. That's going to make this number worse. Do you understand that? No. You know, meanwhile, this is the old AP. The new AP, I have no idea.
For sure. We don't. I mean, this could be the same show. We'll find out.
I'm confident. I'm good. Okay, come on, let's go. Feeling good. Come on, Circus. Come on. You know, maybe pass a look at Galactic. Pass a look at Barry's game when you get the chance. Maybe.
I feel like the creative teams and the marketing teams are always kind of separated in the pinball company ecosystem. And the crosstalk there doesn't exist. You know, the bean counters want to make certain price points happen, and the creative team is just trying to make the best pinball machine they can. So when people are on pin side, flaming on people, getting mad at companies, really they should be targeting not the creative teams that are behind them, because that's not the people that are making these decisions.
And part of it is they don't know, and I don't expect them to know everything because they don't know. If they didn't know, they'd be there. But also realize that you don't know, and so. You know, I'm not saying temper what you say, but think about it before you hit send, maybe.
Nobody does that on the internet these days.
Or not. You're just it's 2 in the morning, and then you're going to write things and send it. I understand. It's the internet. It's the current year. It's what happens. It's social currency. It's the game. I know it's the game. I'm talking against the game. You can't talk against the game. The game will get back at you. The game will get back at you. Okay, the game with social currency is a dangerous game. But, so, yeah, that was just one part of it. And so I was, very disappointed to see that. And like, okay, I mean, why not just get a Stern Pro at $69.95, man? I'll get a Stern Pro. What? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Stern Pro.
That's a hard sell on somebody to buy an AP game at the same price that you can get a Stern game for the same price.
It's a Stern licensed game. It's not. Right. It's a non-sell. It's not a hard sell. It's non-sell.
That's totally fair. Yeah.
Right. It's a non-sell. I don't care if it's. That's how I can easily separate myself from my product. Like, see, I can separate the creator from the product. Watch me do it. That's a non-sell. Okay. I don't care. As you give me a Stern licensed product with a known pedigree, right, versus new game from new designer, right? And then same price as this game that I know I'm going to get a level of support and whatever thing, and I know what this is. And I think it was Jaws at the time. Was it Jaws? I don't know. I think it was. I think that's what it was. I don't know what
the Pro on
that was the same $69.95. Yeah, that was the same $69.95. I'm like, no, you can't do that. So that's why at least if you can do that, I mean, my golden snitch price was $54.95. I was hoping for that. I was like, but that was like pipe dream stuff. I was like,
well, I mean, at that point, you'd probably have to take out too much where the game wouldn't start feeling like as good as a Stern Pro. It would just be yeah.
Right. But that's another thing people don't realize. It's like, yeah, the reason why Optimus doesn't transform? Probably because they couldn't make him do that for $69.95. It's the other way around. It's the other way where you're thinking, oh, he doesn't transform, so it should be less than that. No, it's the reason why he doesn't is in order to be able to sell it for $69.95 and still pay people the money in the factory is we couldn't do that in time.
Clearly they ordered these transforming mechs, right? Because they showed it, right? Do you think that there's a market? I'm sure Stern would get a lot of blowback, but for the people that truly want their games to like transform, they could sell it like a topper. You could sell a modification to your game that you put in there.
There's something there. Yeah, I think there's something there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you finagle that personal wise.
I mean, I think you're going to piss off a lot of people for it, but I think people are. I mean, look how much people spend on, mods for their pinball machines. Like I bought like every Stumbler mod for my Godzilla. So like,
the modders are going to kill that. Yeah, the modders are just, they were licking their chops at that thing. I'm just saying. I mean, everything transforming up in that space. Because if you look at it, it looks like because I look at immediately.
Pinball machine's going to turn into a different pinball machine. The ultimate.
It's going to transform and cook you breakfast, just like people say they need to do. It's going to actually do it. And the breakfast is going to come out of Soundwave. And Soundwave is going to open and it's going to have a muffin for you. And we're going to do it.
Pinball machines need muffins inside them, to be perfectly honest. This is like a substantially under-tapped market.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I was wondering when I saw the initial picture and it looked like he was squatting down. I was like, is he squat? And I didn't understand. He's standing. It didn't even click in me. I was like, he's supposed to get up and go down. I was like, okay. I got fooled by the picture. I was like, I thought, is he squat and then what happens? That's strange. That's not something.
Maybe he's got to take a dump. I mean, like, let's be honest. Do the Transformers poop? They got it, right?
Right. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. That in the
like
lower,
old
maybe.
oil?
I mean,
like, is an oil change just a robot taking a shit?
And the Michael Bay one, maybe. I think Devastator might have done something maybe there. I don't know.
With a name like Devastator, you're definitely taking like big dumps.
But the game plays well. I mean, the only thing I didn't appreciate very much. There were two things I didn't like about it, which are probably easy fixes. The lock, it was bouncing out of the lock a lot, but that's just messing with the one-way.
That's also an extremely easy shot, I thought. But also, like, so is the center shot on Godzilla. So it's okay if certain shots are easy.
But is it though? It's easy, but if you're off a little bit, you're going to be in a danger area. Like it's up the middle,
and that's okay. What's wrong? That's good.
It's fantastic. That's what I'm saying. That makes it correct. Like it's easy.
Center shot on Jaws is like my example of that all the time. So the center shot on Jaws, the little loop back towards you, is both the easiest shot to hit and the most dangerous shot.
Yeah, you miss it and you're dead. Take it. You missed it. You half ramped it. Get out. No.
Yeah.
No. Or take two dangers on the way out because you deserved it because you missed it. It's easy. Why didn't you hit it? Take it.
Exactly.
That's perfect. Same thing with Transformers. It's right there. You missed. You were off by a little bit, and there's enough play through it where it off by 1 degree will take you like a little bit over. You better deal with that. And it's perfect. So
what was your second thing you didn't like?
The second thing was the long reverse-o-matic shot, the left ramp, the long left reverse-o-matic that goes over. That would rattle and not go sometime.
Okay. I know, that wasn't a problem in the beginning of the day. I think that really probably had to do with the flippers getting roasty. If we're talking about stern criticism here, I wish that they put flipper fans on those games, and I wish they put Invisiglass on all of them so that people that wanted to shoot footage could see through it. I get it from the pros got Invisiglass on the media day, and like someone's going to be like, that's a legal issue, but like, come on, like you're there to get footage, and you want the games to flip good all day, and they're getting beat up. Like, why not?
Yeah, and I think that's something that probably will be. I don't think part of it might be skill issue. I don't know. It just looked like, what it felt to me? It felt like Now, your call on it being like Jurassic Park is an excellent call. And on that, you're talking about your call on how it was like the game is sort of like Jurassic Park-ish, because it does feel like Jurassic Park B Division. Like if Jurassic Park was a little bit lenient on you, it's kind of Transformers, but it's not bad. Like that doesn't make it bad, you know?
Oh no,
people go like, it's like another game that makes it bad. No, you don't understand. That's what makes it good, because it's innovation and it's even better. You understand?
Totally. That wasn't a negative criticism. I think a slightly easier version of Jurassic Park, at least from the shots, because the code doesn't, just because the shots are easier doesn't mean the code's easier. I mean, there's other ways to make the game difficult, and it doesn't shoot like it's some kiddie game or something. Like it's still. Yeah.
And when you make the shot, it feels great. Like
dude, all of those shots feel really good.
Great when you make the shot, which makes it all more disappointing when you break it, because it's like the opening is so wide, so you hit the area, and I think what's happening is you're rattling on the way up, and so I think you have to like do what happens on Indy 500, where Indy 500, if you shoot the loop combo and you shoot it straight into the hole, it bounces out. Right. Just view the Yegpin Grand Finals, you'll see that. Versus if you ride the wall on the way up, it goes in the hole.
Right. And these are also the not prototype, but they're the floor. Like these are the first 4 games made, right? So I think that if anybody that doesn't know, like the pinball machines go through little tiny tweaks between the first generation that comes out versus like, number 200 or whatever. Yes. So I imagine some of the stuff's going to get a little tweaked.
And so I think that's going to be fine, because when you hit the shot, it feels it feels way better than the tower on Jurassic. Oh, the tower, the tower loops up quicker, so it's a better chance to make it when you hit it directly. Yeah. But man, that thing has some Shaquille O'Neal rejections down the right out lane if you miss it. Oh my God.
Sure. The right ramp really does feel like the pterodactyl shot. That ramp has got the same level of kind of difficulty. I would say that right ramp is probably the least satisfying shot on it, but that's not to say that it's not a satisfying shot for me.
But I give some credit back to it, because if Megatron's right drop target is down, then the right ramp has more forgiveness on the way in.
Yeah,
and it makes it better. You make that shot unexpectedly. It's like, oh, I made the shot. It makes it actually easier. So I got to put points back on the right ramp. Like you take it away and I put it back on.
Take it away, put it back on. No, that's for sure.
This is just honest analysis. Like, see those out there. I saw a comment somewhere. I forgot where it was. I think it was Facebook or something. I don't know. I saw a comment. Somebody said, "Oh, you media people won't talk bad about the game because you won't get invited back to the thing on the next time." It's like, you're trying to do some Gamergate thing. Is that what this is? Are you seriously doing that in pinball? Are you seriously doing that? They're happy we're talking about it at all. They're happy we're talking about it, period. Pinball is still too niche of a sub-niche to do any sort of Gamergate stuff like that. Yeah. Okay.
Agreed. I came back from Fall of the Empire and was just like, the Death Star Destroyer or the Death Star is a mess. Like it's rejected.
That's what happened. Got fixed, didn't it?
Got fixed, but it got fixed. It got fixed because people talked about it. People that were at Media Day.
Now it's a 95%er. It's like a 95% shot. I think I've gotten blocked like twice since then.
No, after the fix, it's like, I wouldn't say it's rock solid, but no shot on pinball is 100%. So,
but the backhand is back. Everything. It's like great. Like, very rarely do I feel like it robbed. Like I went up there and you get blocked. Clearly I got blocked once. Okay, that game. Or they won't get blocked another 4 games. Like that's really happened. And we're not doing it because of influence or whatever, or all that stuff. It's just, that's just what happens. If anything, it'll invite us back because of our honesty. Because our honesty is what gets the word out, and that gets the game out. That sells the game to people.
I stand by our statement. Transparent honesty about news is a much better, more powerful weapon than making up shit just so that you can get opportunities. That's dumb.
It's much easier to remember the truth. That's the old adage, right? It's much easier to remember the truth, right, than to have to remember the lies. Okay, why? You're there trying to figure out how the game plays and have fun and talk to people and do whatever. And I know they're trying to do the marketing.
Goes into their development too. Like if anything, they don't need us to make the game better. But if you're living in a bubble, right? There's only they had 2 people doing like because you can't put games on location anymore because they find out about it. You can't do any test runs like you could back in the 80s and 90s.
Right. Yeah, internet.
So
And
Elizabeth was talking about
NDAs aren't strong enough. NDAs aren't strong enough. Apparently, the only NDA that's strong enough now is whatever's going on at Barrels, because you guys have something with pain of death. It's pain of death, because there's no more good people in the world.
Isn't it more fun to surprise people?
There's no more good people in the world. So something in the NDA is punishable by pain of death. There's something's going on there. So I don't know. So whatever you guys got going is special.
Small team, small passionate team. That's all it is.
So you guys are good. Thumbs up.
I keep telling people the next game's Raven 2000. I've said it a million times.
Exactly.
And like when it comes out, you're gonna be like, "Oh, he wasn't lying the whole time." I'll be like, "I fucking told you." Like,
hey, so, but so no, this is not a Gamergate situation. Please don't try to put extra stuff in it that ain't there. So I don't know what else to say to that. That one, it didn't frustrate me. I laughed at it because I'm like, it's like, man, this is not Rockstar Interactive. This is not Ubisoft or Ubisoft. It's not big companies. This is Stern, and then boutique companies. This is Jersey Jack trying to come with games. We're all trying to service the niche of a sub niche of a market. Right.
For sure.
I mean, pinball is still too small to have factions. We haven't reached that level yet. We haven't gotten there yet. We're getting there. We're
trying. We want it to be as more popular as possible. Oh, thank you.
We're trying.
I had beverage delivery.
Hey,
everybody, look, it's it. See, like the camera immediately focuses on her. It's like,
exactly, right? Yeah.
Do you blame it? Do you blame it?
As it should, right? As it should, right? Right, of course.
I think this is a reminder that I should probably get. Oh, God damn it! Thanks, Sid. You ruined my camera.
Live, everybody. No, it's live.
He's right though.
But
we are almost pushing 2.5 hours though, so I do. Let's wrap it up.
No idea what time it is. Okay, let's whatever. Okay, let's go.
Well,
like I said,
I'm thinking maybe
come back later.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe in the future we can do
a Pin Pal show. I don't know. Whatever you want.
We can do a deep dive.
Show, I'm available.
The last chat. Would you like to see a deep dive on one of the slew of fascinating historical topics that Steve has endured during his career in pinball? I would.
And many I haven't even talked about.
And many we haven't talked about. True.
Where's the book? Where's the book being written? I don't know. It's not being written yet.
But Steve, seriously, I truly appreciate your time. And thank you for coming on here and telling us these stories and your design philosophy and all of the other good little nuggets of information. Yeah, I mean, the floor is yours. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the people that you got going on coming up?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Where we got? Oh, we got Lumberjack Johnny's tournament coming up in Wisconsin. We got IFPA World Pinball Championships coming up. Coming up recently. I'm posting on my website as much as I can. I'm doing social media as much as I can. Fun with Bonus everywhere.
Fun with Bonus.
Is at Fun with Bonus. It's funwithbonus.com. You usually find me there, or it's Steve Bowden on Facebook, or follow me there. I don't know when I'm going to start doing live streaming, but I'm going to try.
Do it. Everybody tell Steve to live stream. You should do it.
It's a promise I made to my mom before she passed that I would do. She told me to get my voice out there more. She likes when I do commentary, so that's why I wear this. This is an honor for. Because this is the last thing I talked to her about before she passed. It's fantastic.
Sorry, that's
heartbreaking. So that's why I wear this. That's why I wear this. That's why I wear this everywhere. It's not because I got this person.
I wondered why you had that at Stern Media Day, and now I know. Man, that's beautiful.
That's why I wear this. So now everybody knows. If people have asked me, and I told them behind the scenes, but okay, so that's why I try to wear this until I wear it out. And so that's me on Fun with Bonus, at Fun with Bonus everywhere.
I will have all that included in the description too. So if you've watched this long and you've gotten here, you can check it out. The description below. I always put the guest links before my own, so you can find their stuff because you are the most important part of the podcast right now, not me. Chris has a question. He wants to know if you're going to the Beast.
Absolutely, I'm going to the Beast. Absolutely, we are going to get our butts kicked once again this year, man. The Beast has one of the toughest setups, but it's still playable. Yegpin is still a champion of tough setups. That is wild.
You said you're not a collector, but I have to ask, if you were gonna collect some classics, can I ask you, out of these three games, games, which would you add to your collection?
I'm ready.
Raven. Raven.
Interesting. Okay.
Or Barrio's Barbecue.
Okay. Well, I don't own a Barry's game. That's right. I don't own a Barry's game. Let's continue the story. No, but not only would Raven be a good choice, right? There was a Raven at Pintastic New England. I got a picture of it. I tried to find it before the show and I couldn't. But it was a Raven that had. They started the process of making it Predator-ish. You know, they had the Predator.
That was at Expo. It was right next to the Barrels booth, except it was broken. I wanted to play it so bad.
Yeah, that Raven played pretty good. And it was near us, and we were broadcast. So that
Steve's on record. He's picked the Predator Raven.
That was good. And then, hey, believe me, Chad, we had a lot of stuff we didn't cover. So it's just we're 2.5 hours in. So I know, but again, hey, I'm ready to do it again. Maybe we left some more topics for my live stream when we come up.
Steve, are you kidding me? It would be my honor to have you on again. You're a commentating legend. You are a pinball legend. And I truly hope that some company picks you up to put your talents to use in the pinball ecosystem because it needs it.
But until then, I remain a pinball fan and a pinball enthusiast, and I will hope to see any of you at the next tournament, trying to beat these machines' butts just one more time, man, There's always another tournament. Thank goodness. We've gotten to that point.
For sure. And there's more than ever. It really does seem like pinball is growing. Colin's little kineticist samples of how many units are showing up on location. It seems like the hobby's growing. I feel like a lot more people are into it more than ever. If you are curious about pinball or if you know people that aren't into pinball, invite them over. Drag them to a bar that's got pins. Take them into a league. Don't be afraid to play.
That's it. And one thing before we go, I want to make sure I get this in. I don't know how close we are to ending, but I just came to my mind. You had a segment on one time that just was someone else who's notable in pinball that you should pay attention to that we may not be, right? I think you asked that question.
Yes.
And when you asked that question, I was like, if and when I get in the show, I'm going to mention this person, and this person's name moniker online is Indie Gamer Chick. Or the Pinball Chick, indiegamerchick.com or thepinballchick.com. This is a reviewer who will be like, oh, guess what? I'm going to review all the pinball arcade games. All of them? Yeah, like all of them.
All of them?
There's 100. Yes, all of them. Even that one? Yeah, even that one too. You mean the one that wasn't released? Yes, I still have it, and I'm going to review on it.
Cool.
And it's a shame that this person has not received more social currency, even though they've been in the game longer than I have.
It's there's so many people that dedicate so much of their time to this, and it's just whatever the algorithm is, the discovery isn't there, and it's just like the content's great, but YouTube's shoveling this other brain rot shit, and it's just like. All right, Indie Gamer Chick.
Indie Gamer
Check it
Chick
out.
Or the pinballchick.com goes right to the pinball stuff, right?
Okay,
but
that's good. I do like the pinball
She's
stuff.
working on a review. She's working on a review with her family, and her family is also reviewers and stuff. And I'm talking, it's all of the games, all of it. You're talking about, we're gonna talk about Crew Ball for the Genesis, and then we're gonna go into Pinball Fantasies for the PC.
What is it? Demon's Fury, Sonic Spinball. There's a number of really great.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about the history of Sonic Spinball and why it sucks in the way it does and why it could have been better.
Its physics do feel floaty and weird, probably because they had to load this massive level into it. Well, I guess they had to for regular Sonic too, but.
No, but she's talking about the effects of previous games and how that, the effects of how Mortal Kombat worked into it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm definitely going to check that out. Slinger is asking. He said, "Doesn't she do a bunch of pinball effects coverage too?"
You know what? I mean, you know what? We need more pinball effects coverage because this helps people get in. I know it's virtual pinball.
I think video game pinball is still real pinball. It's got flippers and a ball. It's fucking pinball.
Yeah, you think it's good. I think it's good because it helps people get into the real pinball games. Be like, hey, remember, see this Attack from Mars that you just played? Well, let me take you up to the real Attack from Mars.
Dude, the pinball effects version of Attack from Mars is horrendous, though. That game does not play anything like the real one.
There ain't no more patterns, bro. It's I know you played Funhouse where you could hold the right flipper up and it just kicks out to the right flipper. Let me take you to the real Funhouse. So how you going to do it? This.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah. So that's how you get them in.
But
That's how you
this
get
is
them
what
in.
I do on Pinball Effects. It's easy. I'm like,
I know. Okay, now it's
I
game
do wish
time.
Pinball FX had like a preset where you could make the game like jank, right? Like a
Yeah.
beat up arcade game, right? Where it like randomizes the rubber's bounciness and like, you know, the flippers alignment's kind of messed up and like solenoids aren't as powerful. You know what I mean? Like that's what I
remember
want.
there was a game in the past which had like an aging. Like you would slowly age it over time. I don't know.
Is
I
that
have to go back and
Zakaria?
see.
No.
No, that was like a video pinball game where it's like you could set it to be like get a little bit more scuff over time, and there was a level that I don't know if I'm hallucinating that or what. And it sounds like maybe something that Pro Pinball would have done. You know,
Chat, do you know?
the people who did
They're stuck back in time.
Time Shock, the people who did Time Shock, which should have been a real game, which was gonna be a real game, which isn't, and which dang it isn't. I was gonna be. I seem to remember something like that, when it was something like that to build a little bit of randomness in it, to where you could just depend on stuff. Now that's come to mind, and now I'm gonna have to look for that after the show. I'm gonna have to look for that.
Message me. I want to know. I'll post about it if it is, because that sounds awesome.
If I'm not hallucinating that.
Fever Dream Pinball, made up Fever Dream Pinball.
Yeah, because this was years ago I'm thinking that happened, which is why I'm thinking Pro Pinball. You know,
right?
Big Race, Time Shock, and Fantastic Journey, like that series.
Yeah, I mean, there was a limited amount of those games.
Yeah, but
you know what it was?
Yeah,
Epic Pinball, Silver Ball was the one that like really got me into video game pinball. I remember that so well. Fantasy, Odyssey, there were so many. The music on those games, Blood.
Follow her on Facebook. Follow her on Facebook. She's like doing it right now, like in progress. It's like posts come up. Oh man, here comes Sonic Pinball. I know it's gonna be a problem. Okay, here comes Devil's Crush. Okay, I'm ready. Devil's Crush, TurboGrafx 16. Let's go. We're ready. We're ready.
So much fun. I put so much time into that game.
Okay, so you know that's what I'm talking. So I'll make sure I gave that shout out as well. And you know, and also another shout out to the Pinball Minority Report that the podcast that came out.
Of course. That's Manu and Erica's Pinball Journeys.
Right. Love that name. Like if my podcast I did back in the day wasn't gonna be named The Meltdown, it was on that name was on one of the names I had written on my WWE list of names that you give or what it could be. Like,
sure.
The Minority Report was kind of be one of them because I was thinking of the movie and I'm a minority. Right. But so I was like, yes, that's a nice name. Do that. I love that. So shout out to them. They're already 2 episodes in, I think.
Also, Manu's channel got hacked, which thankfully it's back now. But if you don't check out Manu's content, he runs Mystery Pinball Theater on Friday. They do Riff Track. It's like a live game point system thing where you get to watch and try to make jokes and people vote for it. It's super fun. I highly recommend it. Yeah. And then of course Erica has Erica's Pinball Journey where she documents her journey into pinball.
Let's get Manu's numbers back up. Let's get Erica's numbers up.
Well, so I have good news on that front because I was telling everybody to get back on there and follow him. Google's process reacquired all of his subs and put him back. So he's got his entire following again. Oh, happy days, which finally a win in the hacking space. You don't think that doesn't happen like ever,
Wow, a good thing in pinball. All right, what do you know?
I know, right? Or a good thing that YouTube did really is the shocker here.
That's really good. That's shocking. Okay, next you'll tell me Twitch does something good. Oh wait,
I know, right? Thanks, Steve. You just got me demonetized on both.
I said that. I'm sorry. Oh no.
All right. Without further ado, let's go find someone to raid. That's what we do. Steve, stick around. You're not going to be able to hear me while I do the transfer process. All praise the Great Pyramid. Thank you for reminding me. I don't have my pyramid shirt on, although I guess I got new ones. I got big.
There you go.
Yeah, you can't get more pyramid than this,
Yeah.
Boom.
Triangle. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Anyways, so yeah, stick around for a second. Let's go raid. Thank you, chat, for everybody for watching. Again, go check out the socials. Go check out Steve and play more pinball. Thanks for watching. What's motching mean? Steve, can you tell everybody goodbye so I can hit the BRB button?
Bye, everybody. Keep flipping.
Does your life lack purpose? Have you wondered if there's anything more? Join the cult of pinball. The Great Pyramid accepts all into the cult of the Great Order. I'm Dr.